and one of the teams have not played the first one in Nighthaven.
Yeah, very much so. This is just such a low info match, and I think for Weibo in particular, we talked about how they have less prep going into this because of the way that they've decided to go about prepping for these games. It's going to be much more about the adaptability mid-game. We're playing on the new patch. We've got the changes to Amaya, to Jaeger, to Leora, and to everything else, to Dokkaebi. So it's a great chance to see what the best teams in Asia can do.
Yeah, and I feel like if we were to obviously have a grand final, we'd love to see both of these teams in there. However, this is the beauty of talking about a region that continues to like slowly progress with a top-heavy one. It is really a top-heavy one, if we're being completely honest here, Nick. And I think James's point that he made throughout kind of like the introduction of Weibo is it's so spot on, which is like they're not doing this Swiss prep style out of arrogance. They're actually doing it out of preparation. They're doing it. Yes, they know they're going to be good. Yes, they know that they're going to be able to compete. But Weibo really are above the rest right now. How do you think this series will actually play out once we get into the server?
I mean, to be honest, I do expect some Weibo dominance one way or another. It can be mechanically, it can be strategically. One thing to note here for Daystar, when Daystar on the attacking side, they love to play heavily for executes. 5 attackers alive, 3, 2, 1, and go together. Weibo, they're a team that we know for their aggression, but they also have this kind of hidden playstyle that they only show on a rare occasion, and it's heavy utility. Tubrao, Kaid, Wamai, Jaeger, Clash, that sort of thing. With the buffs to both Wamai and Jaeger, there's a real chance here that if Daystar's aggression on the attack here to start things off is too much for them, they're gonna bunker down and be hiding by the bomb site walls and just locking Daystar out of the building.
One thing we know about Weibo over the last 12, 24 months, outside of their dominance, outside of how good they are, is their map pool is so deep. You are not going to beat them in the veto. You can only beat them in the server. And well, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And to be the best, you've got to be Michael Goscurry and Jake Xenox and Diddy. Enjoy, boys. Woo!
I'm really liking the enthusiasm from Nicholas for this matchup, I must say.
Nick is very excited for this.
Must have had his morning coffee.
Yeah, I mean, but he was still favouring Weibo, wasn't he?
I think ever so slightly.
Yeah, and you know, Nick always likes, he's an honorary Aussie. He likes to root for the underdog.
He loves a hot take.
He does love a bit of a take.
And he called rival yesterday.
He did. Yeah. He did, but he didn't back in Daystar. And you know what, guys? I think coming into this series, upper bracket final, spot in the grand final, it goes without saying Weibo are the favourites. We know that. We get it. The real challenge is really going to be here at Nighthaven Labs for Daystar. This may be their map pick, but it is still a very strong map for Weibo as well. Now, Daystar may have risen up to the ranks to now be established as the second best team in this region, but it's a region that no longer has 2 slots. And so second is the first loser. Well, I guess in the way we do the format, it's not a race, so it's actually the last loser.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. The bans for the first half, Mira and Azami, typical for Daystar. Weibo going a little bit different here compared to usual. Double hard breach is typical for them, but they'll normally actually go the Ace and the Thermite duo. This time they wanted to take the Maverick off the board. So we'll see if freeing up the Thermite is going to change the dynamic much in this matchup. Of course, Weibo, though, do have the Kaid and the Tub combo available to counter that IT wall, which is so critical and plays a large role on the majority of the objectives here on Labs. First half gunfight from Pika down below had a narrow opportunity, but didn't quite take it.
Now, I wonder, is there room for Wamai in this lineup from Weibo with the changes that have obviously been made last night? When you want to bring a Nitrocell now, Wamai is certainly one that can be considered. But, I mean, you kind of look at this lineup and you think, well, who are you really replacing? You're probably not replacing the Warden. Your Kaid is there for a reason. Can it fill the void of a Tuber? I mean, there's auto canisters, more delay, so it's delay versus catch. But I kind of look at this side, especially top floor when it comes to Labs. Really, it's the kind of side where I think the weaker teams are going to win it more often on the attack via dump utility, rushes, etc. And the Wamai can help against that. The Wamai can also help with Rafters hold when the Azami's been banned away. That's definitely one thing to note. With that Azami banned out, Rafters is not going to be as easily held by Weibo.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little surprised we're not seeing it on this side. I think naturally Weibo, though, are going to lean more into comfort. Like, let's be real, where they're most comfortable is where they'll be looking to position themselves in this matchup. It's probably not going to be very small technical details like that in terms of compositions that are going to make a huge difference, at least not early. If Weibo they sense that maybe that is a problem going forward, I'm sure they'll adjust accordingly. 55 seconds on the board for this opening round, and some control gained on the IT side for Daystar.
Speaking of shotguns, we had the Chef Jeff Masterclass earlier on Clubhouse. Reaps is not going to get to use his. The Souffle gets the long angle headshot, the opening pick for Daystar, and suddenly the site now is vulnerable. 3 quickly dead. Nitrocell thrown out. It's not going to connect. Weibo have just been blindsided as Daystar crept up. They had the long angles. They find all of the kills. This may be flawless, and what a statement this could be early. It's only Halvin left, and that plant looks like it will be successful inside a server. The real question now is, will this be flawless or not? Well, the answer will be not. But Halvin certainly doesn't have this one in him for a 1v5 post-plant retake. What a start from Daystar.
Yeah, they did a really good job to crack open that side and isolate a couple of picks early. Reaps got caught server initially, and Speakeasy got caught on the follow-up con as he tried to sort of make a counterplay, I think, in reaction to that. But Daystar were well prepared. Bit of a two-pronged approach. They got control warehouse side, IT side, etc., but then also had presence on the other side of the map. And it was a pretty classic sort of crunch there from them in the end. And yeah, credit to Daystar, a solid start, and not having to really cheese an opening round or an attack on that site in particular, as you were kind of alluding to. Sometimes weaker teams may need to do that and execute upon that to try and snatch a round, but I really wouldn't classify that opening round as one of them.
It is another Weibo round 1 loss, though. Add that one to the pile of round 1 losses for this team. They just have this habit. They just clearly don't start well in games, even on, you know, defense top 4 labs.
What was the number? It was like 20% or something, right? Win rate, opening round?
Yeah.
It was really low.
Really, really low.
But it's just part of the game plan at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder what... like, it gets to a point eventually where you kind of look at it in comparison to everyone else, and there's something up with it, you know.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
A good start for Daystar, though. I mean, I kind of looked at the numbers coming into this. When the boys on the couch were sort of discussing the game, I honestly thought, well, this might have 2-0 written all over it. And Nighthaven Labs is the map pick for Daystar, but they only have a 2-5 record on it. It's not as if it's like a statement map for them, whereas it's a 5-2 record for Weibo. Their last win, though, it did come 2 months ago against Los One. Last win for Daystar 20 days ago against HL Tour Esports 7-1. As we know, though, a team that has struggled immensely at this stage. Fantastic start for Daystar. Let's see how much more damage they can really do here on Labs, because if they can win Labs, Consulate for me is a given. I think Chalet is like a 90% chance it goes the way of Weibo. And then Consulate becomes interesting. Reaps does find the opening kill this round onto Steel, gets rid of the Solid Snake as Holfen creeps up through Garage. He's going to elect to not push all the way up to Rafters, and with that hold, he may catch a timing. Here's the footsteps. Knows full well that Souffle is in that position. But Hoven, I think, knows he's also not known to the attack in his current position, and wants to bide his time as Reaps makes a little bit of contact and noise and then falls away. Hoven indeed does get that kill. Souffle had no idea. Hoven's patience will pay off, and Weibo look like they will respond pretty quickly here in the second round.
I feel like I've watched this movie before, Jake. It's a sense of deja vu opening round against Weibo, and then they just immediately spring back into action. And Turd is active in the chat, which is...
it wasn't active in the chat against me. That was I tried to bait him out.
I think he was being quite kind.
He was quite kind. I mean, yeah, he's a kind individual outside of the server for the most part. Inside the server,
nice guy.
he's a menace. Daystar don't really get much from this, but I think I look at this second round as really Weibo just highlighting what they can do on a map like Labs, basement site, roaming around, playing these off-angle positions. They're very tricky to figure out. Hoven will put an end to this. Hoven, by the way, has been the best player in the region for Asia.
Turd, settle down. It's round 2. Well, Pika will try his best, but a late drop, but Weibo clean up. It's a great start to the round as well. I don't know if we quite captured it. I had to look back on our feed on the side. The opening kill there from Reaps, he was actually getting death marked at that point in time, and he, instead of falling back and playing a second floor position, he actually elected to push forward and give his team that opener. And that, again, that just highlights the depth of this team, right? And the confidence that they have in this. It doesn't really matter what is thrown at Weibo, at least domestically. They're not going to shy away from the fight. They will back themselves in, even in a lower percentage environment, to win out those engagements. And yeah, it was certainly a strong start for them in round number 2. Over to the tertiary of storage for the third.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you saw the stop talking comment, but like I'm pretty certain in the rule book that they're actually not really supposed to be talking at all, right? So in this region, we love the trash talk. We give leeway.
There's a time and a place.
And yeah, exactly. You know, usually post round, you know, Third was yapping a little too much in that round and rightfully got told to sit down. At 1-1, as you said before, deja vu. It's a movie we've seen plenty times over when it comes to Weibo. Drop the opening round and look absolutely amazing in the second. Now it feels like we can actually play a game of Siege. Storage and control for the third round. Once again, they go with the tuber route. This time it is Turd that will play it rather than Hoven. Hoven will jump onto the mute. Azuki with the fuse. And double drone setup as well from Yao and Seal with the Brava and Twitch respectively. Well, I brought up obviously the numbers for Hoven, number 1 ready to play at this stage. Turd number 2, Reaps number 5, so 3 inside of the top 5 for Weibo. For Daystar, it's Souffle at 4, Pika at 6, and Seal at 7. They've got 3 in the top 7. No surprise, I guess, when these are the 2 best teams in the region that they have a large body of players within the top 10 rated. Interestingly, actually, to kind of round out the top 10, Speakeasy in 9th, believing poor old Gotti, the only one not in the top 10 for Weibo. He's at 14. But after what we saw from Gotti, if you think back all the way to the ENC qualifiers, Guz, he, I think, dropped 0 and 8 after his announcement of joining Weibo. I thought, oh, might be a rough stage for him, but he's actually put on a pretty good show. Speakeasy gets the opening kill onto Yao. Daystar have been quite slow in their approach here on the tertiary site.
Yeah, Zuki using the cluster charge here to establish Vert through IT. And that will expose the storage position down below. Not that it is currently being vacated, though, by Weibo, who still have a pretty commanding presence up here on the second floor.
Yeah, 4 stack for the most part. I mean, they can push down blue stairs quickly.
Maybe not. If Pika's looking to maybe try and cut it. Pretty passive, though, from Pika outside, who did get called out for his passive play in the last round by Turd.
Yeah, funnily enough. Azuki does find an angle onto Reaps, and this is going to be intriguing because Gotti can get swung on, and he's dead. Yes, he will be dead. Shot in the back from Pika. Put too much trust in that Razor Bloom of Reaps. It didn't do enough. And Hoven by himself, ironically, the only one that's actually in sight. Weibo got cleared well and truly on that top floor by a wonderful set push from Daystar. 30 seconds, Hoven to see if he can play Disruption. He cannot, and it's a 2-1 lead for Daystar.
Yeah, Daystar hit some really nice timings, splitting that hit on the top floor. I think that was ultimately a pretty wise decision. They didn't shy away from the fight and think, oh, there's 3-4 above, let's go down below, try and go for the plant win con. I think trying to exercise some control top floor was the right play. The execution was pretty good. They were patient. They didn't rush anything. And when they did make their move, it was as a team. Ultimately, they didn't need a high volume of trades, 3 versus 1. So the backup plan was really just that.
I mean, it was a 4v3, and 3 of them basically got, what, 1 each pretty quickly. Makes it a 3v1. A tactical timeout rather early for Weibo Gaming. We saw Gohan's camera earlier before. And he calls an early one right now for Weibo. 3 rounds in, and Harambe is well, very close to that microphone. He's making sure that they hear him loud and clear.
ASMR timeout.
I don't think Gohan is calling this timeout in a panic or in a worry or with overwhelming concerns. It's probably just a way to refresh things a little bit, keep them grounded, and look to finish strong in this half. Going into the bans as well, we get Kaid and Glaz as the respective bans. And the Glaz is an intriguing choice as it has not been played yet in the opening 3 rounds by Daystar. On the flip side, Kaid has been played in all 3 rounds. I mean, I kind of look at that as a win for Daystar. Even if the Glaz is a preemptive ban, it means that they've been winning rounds without it anyway. Yes, they don't have it as an option now. Whereas on the, Kaid has been used in 3 rounds. That's going to either force Weibo now to, pivot to Bandit if necessary on certain breach positions, or change it up completely, of which they will.
I mean, with both the Mirror and the Kaid banned out, and with Bandit being very volatile for IT, like the ball's getting open. Good luck. You're not keeping that closed. And so we're going to actually see them pivot pretty significantly here, and we're going to see that key operator that we were anticipating previously, and that will be the Might in this round, who just in the last, 12 hours or however long it's been, has received a pretty significant buff. So for clarity,
a little longer than 12 hours.
However long it's been, not long. The charge update frequency has now been halved to 20 seconds. The total maximum charges is up from 6 to 7, and the reduced activation time of the magnet itself has been reduced 1 second, so from 1.5 down to 0.5. So you're getting them a lot more frequently. You can now deploy them and they activate a lot faster.
And he gets a Nitro Cell.
And then the Nitro Cell.
It's a lot at once.
It is.
When we saw it last night mid-series, I thought, geez, that's quite a lot. And interestingly, it was picked immediately. There was one of the players last night though that had the proxy alarm on, and I
can't remember who, but yeah.
I was wondering if they hadn't updated the operator loadout.
They also get deployable shield as an alternate option as well.
Souffle realizing there was a mute jammer in the way, blocking his exothermic charge.
Yeah, just place it higher up. That's why keeping this wall closed is essentially impossible. Although I think he's still fiddling around with it. Okay. They start making that look a little bit more painful than it probably should have been, but either way, IT will now be opened up, courtesy of the Tin Can Open Up Nitro lineup. Oh, misses for Speakeasy.
No, Speakeasy, that was... Oh, no, back to back.
Come on, third try.
Nah. Give it up now. Well, that's not good. But it does mean he still has it for another go at another point.
He's going to go for it. Or maybe not. That player's too advanced now. That's Yao on the other side at the breach.
The one saving grace for Weibo here is probably the time. Interestingly, with no wall denial outside of the mute jump, it actually did take Daystar quite a while to really get that IT control. Pika does get the opening kill regardless onto Harvin. Jugger Payload's going to be called out onto Turd. Over towards Command. Grismont Mine thrown from Gotti. Into the final 60 seconds of the round. Another opening pick for Daystar. Just their second so far in this half. Speakeasy still at least controls this electrical position. For the most part, it's pretty one-sided from Daystar. It's that IT and warehouse push. That's basically it for now.
Yeah, they'll be communicating an endpoint here and what they actually want to achieve. One Nitro up for Weibo, who don't really look like they're in the most comfortable of positions at the moment. The lack of the Azami here means that there's so little playable area.
Well, they do still have blue and electrical, so again, they should know full well where Daystar are pretty much coming from. Although it's a late little lurk here from Pika, pushing lobby late. 20 seconds of time now. It's going to be a bit of a rush, but Daystar have the extra player. They can just kind of barge their way into site. Red ping information as well over towards the site. Razor Bloom hits onto Seal. Red time we go. They are leaving it quite late, but a big pick onto Reed. Scotty falls too, but then there's Speakeasy in turn, and the time has completely expired. No kit in hand. In the end, the biggest demise for Daystar was that time control. Technical timeout call from Holven. We're tied at 2-2.
That was a pretty classic showcase, a pretty classic example of a team that hasn't quite got that extra couple of percentage points in a matchup like this where they get stalled out on attack. Like, it's a tale as old as time in this region where a team will set themselves up for success with a player advantage, mind you.
5v4, 50 seconds left. You've got IT opened up. Everything's there for you. There's no other utility you need to deal with. Go earlier.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the replay off screen. And
me too. For 25 seconds, nothing has happened.
And they dumped that Zof utility, and they still had smokes up for Azuki, a couple of payloads. They had flashes. They had additional smokes they could have layered. None of it really happened. So there's a disconnect there. Somebody on the team has clearly made a call or not made a call either way, and the team is failing to react to that accordingly. It should be a pretty...
Oh, most people are, like, at this point here, most people are in a pretty much solid position as well. When you've got full warehouse, IT control, 4 are in the building.
And the lurk was successful on the other side.
Yeah, and then Yao was going to be pushing in anyway. He's just outside. I mean, I just don't know how they don't go a little bit sooner here.
To me, that is a set play that they would be seeing in scrims frequently, and it's just match day jitters, and they haven't been able to convert it on the day. That's, yeah, a rough one for Daystar.
I do wonder, though, immediate tech. Is there anything that maybe a technical fault could have caused them to be a little slower? I mean,
it was called by
speculating.
Weibo. It was called by Weibo.
Oh, was it?
So, yeah, I think it was Holden.
My apologies then. Well, yeah, sorry, it was Weibo that did call it.
FPS bug. Which is a legitimate bug because I'm finding that I'm getting it. I haven't played the new patch yet, but...
Oh, so it's a legitimate bug because you're getting it, Michael. Wow. All right, well, let's go and have a look at a Hoven player spotlight during this technical timeout while we get him back into the server, funnily enough. So we'll go and have a look at some of his highlights, his stats. 72 kills so far this stage of APL, 150 EPS. I mentioned it before, guys. The best player in the region so far up to this point. And to be honest, so far tonight hasn't completely disappointed either. Still the 3 kills, matching the best for Weibo. They got a couple with 3. But he's had a fantastic stage so far to this point.
I mean, the remarkable thing about that stat line is that naturally Weibo have played... not significantly, but they have played less rounds than many teams, and yet he's still right up there as the top fragger in the region, and that's supported by a 1.16 KPR, which is genuinely insane.
There's only what, 3 players in Asia?
There's only 3 players above a 1.0. It's Hoven, Turd, and NICal, funnily enough, has been farming at this stage as well. Actually, NICal is slightly above, so he's at a 1.18, whereas Hoven 1.16, so splitting hairs, but... yeah, Hoven's been good. He got caught out in that last round on that Rafters hold, but fortunately for him, the rest of the team was able to stall out the remaining push there from Daystar.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but again, what makes this Weibo team so strong is it's not just Reaps and then Turd. Yeah, you got Hoven in the mix as well. I think Speakeasy is also someone that still can kind of have those wind the clock back 5 years moments where you're like, oh, that's the old Speakeasy where he pops off and gets a quad kill.
We don't talk about the Nitro cell in the last round.
We don't speak about that. It looks like everyone's back into the server. We get the ready ups and we can get underway. 2 more rounds required of this first half. But it speaks to the well-roundedness of the roster. I mean, everyone knows what Turd and Reaps are going to bring. Hoven's stepped up to their level, clearly. Speakeasy is a very, very solid support player. And Gotti, I think, has just slotted in and he just plays his role, keeps his head down, gets to work. Gotti doesn't join this team with an expectation to make flashy highlight plays. Those positions are filled.
Yeah, it's going to take him naturally a little bit of time to sort of adjust to the systems of this team. And
it hasn't been bad.
He's been solid.
14th rated.
Yeah. 77% cost as well, so he's having meaningful and consistent impact inside of the server, which is what you want from his kind of role.
5 seconds left before insertion. Device placed. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
So back in we go, 2-2 scoreline. We return to basement, successfully defended back in the second round by Weibo. Courtesy of an opening kill from Reaps on to Seal. They had 3 up at the remainder at the conclusion rather of that round. So it was pretty decisive, pretty dominant from them. They played trap heavy on that first attempt, and on the re-attempt, they alleviate some of that pressure. The Bandit comes in for the Kaid. They've introduced the Solace as well, so maybe looking to find a bit more info and cut down on the drone economy mid-round.
I mean, I don't know really what to make of Labs in this region. It's only been played 3 times. It is listed as attacker-sided in Asia for Stage 1.
What are the results like?
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. I mean,
If you click it, it should expand. There could be some one-sided results skewing that.
yeah, I'm terrible with this thing. I'm like, oh, hang on. So, Daystar, yeah, so Daystar HL Torre very much ruined quite a lot of the statistics.
Yeah. Well, Souffle gets the opening kill though here in the 5th round. Reaps gets caught on that Solace.
In fact, all 3 of them were against HL Torre. Daystar, Psychic Company, and Fury. Oh, Reaps. Headshot, opening kill onto Pika. Daystar wanting to go with decent pace here in this 5th round on basement. Now, 1-for-1 trade, you lose the Solace, but you lose also now the Dokkaebi. Slightly nerfed a little bit last night, though.
A nerf, a rework, some calling it a buff. I think it's still to be untested. I think it was Jack maybe that called it a buff. I could be, I don't want to misquote, but I think that's what he said.
Called it a buff?
Well, because you can now multi-target.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't call it a buff.
You wouldn't?
No.
As a 1v1 aficionado.
Yeah, exactly. What does Jack know?
We love Jackie boy.
60 seconds remaining in this 5th round. Again, this is actually very eerily similar to the previous round for Daystar, where they just stalled themselves out. They wanted to go fast, they get met with a little bit of resistance, and then they just kind of fall back. Now the Gas Babes start to come out, they're struggling to get control of these stair positions. Reaps is going to pop his head up. And here, like, this is where you can cut him off on the cross back to Psychic
Get that
Cargo.
Nitro activated maybe for Weibo. But there's little incentive for Weibo to take big risk here. Still in a good position. Now 20 on the clock as Daystar fight for this cargo control.
Well, pushing down the stairs now is Yao. Not just solid in hand for Gotti. At this point, he can probably just hold it for any potential plant attempt if he does manage to stay alive. Another Gas Babe thrown out from Speakeasy. In fact, he still even had one with 10 seconds left. Gotti does fall, so that Nitrocell doesn't play into this round. Reaps fortunate to get that kill onto Seal with the first shot. No time for Souffle over to Storage. It's a 3-2 lead for Weibo. Again, Daystar struggling to manage the clock here on Labs. It's starting to cost them. 3 of the last 4 rounds go the way of Weibo Gaming.
Yeah, I think to be fair, that one was probably less egregious than the top floor when they did have the advantage. They had a lot of util that they could have layered. That one there was certainly a much more challenging prospect. But again, I'm looking back at the replay. I'm seeing flashes up. I'm seeing frag grenades up. I'm seeing Zofia with almost a full belt of utility with 20 seconds on the clock. They're not exercising that utility effectively. They're not making plays. They're getting classic APL attack stalled out. I'm sure that would have been a focal point for them in the preparation for this matchup, is showing confidence and not being afraid and not shying away from a plan B, C, or even D on these attacks. And unfortunately, it seems to be plan A or bust. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case in that particular round, if Pika needs to play a critical role and he was down, and that kind of left them in an awkward position. But unfortunately for them, Weibo are the kind of team that are going to be super disciplined. We saw it in the last 30 seconds of that round where they held the Nitro, for instance. Their positioning against the Vert was spot on. Speakeasy was dispersing his Gas Babes really efficiently as well. They didn't put a foot wrong. And Daystar on these last couple of attacks are playing in a way where they need Weibo to make mistakes. And Weibo aren't going to make mistakes at a high enough frequency to get a match win.
Yeah, they might make 1 or 2.
You got to force the mistakes.
Yeah.
You got to build the pressure yourself in attack.
Yeah, onto the Monty. Interesting that this is the first time we will see shield play from Daystar in this half. Now, last time out on this side of Storage and Control, Weibo had the 4-1 split and the 4 above. Just simply lost their gunfights to Daystar. Hoppen was the only one left alive in Storage.
Another stat as well to bring up for this Head-to-head, I'm having a look at Weibo. They have an 88% round win rate after getting the opening kill. Daystar have just failed twice in a row to convert.
Perfect timing, because Hoven just got the opening kill. It's been rare for them here on the first half of Labs. Just their third. They'll split at 3-3 with Daystar for this first half. And no Uzuki, so you lose the cluster charges of the fuse. Not ideal, but not the end of the world. And they do eventually get a trade back onto Gotzi after a small delay. Solid Snake Peak able to get rid of the Thorn. Back to 4 versus 4.
Reloading.
It's less investment though, top floor from Weibo. The structure's very different. They've got 2 on the first, turret below for Nitro.
They've given up on the top floor now altogether. And far more of an emphasis on this first floor, and as you mentioned, with turret down below inside a basement. Interestingly, though, on the Bandit, as Reeves just gets completely caught. Full warehouse control for Souffle. Even with Cam up and Speakeasy then falls to seal. Like, this is literally a repeat of exactly what happened last time in Storage Control. Identical. It's just 3 single isolated gunfights that Daystar win every single one of them. And then Weibo are left with a solo. That last round was in sight. This round now is basement. Turret does get at least 1 onto Yao. With that Nitrocell, kit will need to be reacquired. So that will be temporarily dropped.
Should be cut off pretty quickly here.
Souffle does grab that diffuser. 30 seconds. He'll go for the plant. Cut off Pika. That's the easiest kill of your life. Daystar will make it 3-3. Some little concerns for Weibo. They're losing far too many gunfights.
Yeah, I think just naturally that site and the way that Weibo are playing it. Oh, it is the halftime break. Let's go to the desk. I'll let them yap about it.
You can keep yapping, mate. You can keep yapping. Well done, everyone. Give him a nice clap. Well done, Michael. You really switched up there, mate.
Good.
Great stuff. We're so
He's
proud
so
of you.
eager to work today. I love that.
I have this theory that either he figured it out or Jake was like signing to him, shut up, give it back over. Yeah, correct. It's over. It's over. Look, I think that from all things that we've seen so far in this first half, it does feel as though Weibo have limped into this game a little bit, Nick. It doesn't feel like it's the same gusto we would have expected, but I don't think that that's going to change the end conversation.
I said that how they have 2 playstyles, right? Usually Weibo love to play the disruptive gameplay of getting open and kill and going for aggressive, confident plays. And I said they had that kind of secret playstyle where they bunker up and they play utility game. It feels like they started on that note of the util game, you know, banning out operators like the Maverick, playing Tubro, Kaid, forcing those operator bans later on. And it kind of worked and it kind of didn't. Daystar were quite good at getting to execute with 4 or 5 attackers alive. They got some rounds on the board. But then we saw a switch happen where Weibo, they stopped playing the game. Literally hands off the mouse and keyboard. And Daystar were running out of time because they were trying to play perfect, not making mistakes anywhere. And that alone was a mistake because the timer became their biggest enemy. And it's how they lost 2 of their attacking rounds.
It's a bit disappointing, Dev. But alas, I'm kind of excited because it makes things even. It makes things kind of go back to a settled state.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the way that you phrase it, they're like, oh, kind of disappointed Daystar did get caught off guard by Weibo letting the time run down. But yeah, like you said, it ends us in a 3-3, which is a very exciting prospect for Daystar. Of course, it is their map pick, so we would expect that they'd have a good look here. But coming into today, we all know that Weibo are by far the favored team. If Daystar take a map, that's like, oh, good for Daystar. If Daystar take the series, we're like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. We would expect this to be maybe one of the maps is close, but Weibo should win it. And Daystar have already put their best foot forward here. Like, they were up 2-1. They managed to close out from a 3-2 to an even half. Now they move on to defense. And the concern here is, what the hell do you ban if you're Daystar? Because you're going against Weibo. Pengu, they have so many potent attacking operators. You get rid of the Monty from Speakeasy, good, but you still are going to be met with so many other power ops that Weibo love to use.
I think the Monty ban is a non-negotiable. When you're up against Weibo, you gotta get Speakeasy off that operator. It's just way too powerful. And a lot of teams actually are opting for Glass as the second option. Turtle also love playing that particular operator. So they start trying to play around the executing again when the attackers get to the bomb site. That's where they want to make them weaker. Whereas if you ban operators like your Deimos and your Solid Snake, it's about fighting more of an open and kill and slowing down the attackers earlier in the round, if you will. So very curious here for Daystar. They love playing the execute game themselves, and they know Weibo can also be good at that.
Whilst it seems like the first half has been somewhat of a game of forced errors, it's all about capitalizing on it. And right now, both teams are taking their opportunities when they're there. Heading into the second half with Weibo on attack, this one's going to be pretty important. Daystar need to set the pace here, and I think we all agree they must take Labs. Chalet up next, but the second half before that.
Yeah, thanks, gents, and apologies again for the interruption. I was just quite locked into what has been actually pretty entertaining half of Siege thus far. Daystar putting up a good fight, and Weibo now on attack at an even kilter. If these two teams were more evenly matched, at least on paper, we'd maybe be a little concerned for Weibo, but we still have to temper expectations for now that Weibo will show good fight on attack, and as the guys on the desk were alluding to, they've got such a deep pool when it comes to attacking prowess that the ban phase, well, it isn't really going to phase them all too much. Speakeasy loses the 1-2, the guys as well for Turd, but again, they have so much utility now that they can lean into. Zafira, of course, buff now. 6 pieces of util in total, and in combination with that Capital, we'll see how they look to shape up.
Yeah, 4 rounds as well to close the half that the opening kill wasn't converted. So a little bit of sloppiness from both teams when it's a 3-3 half. But I still feel like Daystar are now going on defense, especially if they show a really good start on command server and look pretty locked down defensively. I think they have a pretty good chance now actually here on Nighthaven Labs to win the first map. Not a guarantee, it never is against Weibo. Weibo's that kind of team. I know you say it all the time. What kind of Weibo, like, they control. They can absolutely have a night where they just...
Like, I'm so confident they could go 6-3 down here and still fight back to OT. Like, it's just Weibo.
And I'm confident they could go 6-3 up and also lose in OT, you know. Like, that's the problem. There's a bit of CAG about Weibo at times. Weibo do get the opening kill onto Pika.
Oh, good util. Great air jab. Should be a freebie.
Should be a freebie indeed, but Hoven just couldn't control that spray. Yao gets the headshot.
Uh-oh.
Oh, indeed. And then Yao just crab walks into Turd.
Probably could have got the kill.
And then Turd stays a little too long fighting at the doorway. It's a bloodbath on the top floor of Labs, and it goes the way of Daystar.
This has been a very messy map so far, and it doesn't look like the second half and the roll swap is going to tell a different story just yet. Oh, another crab walk for Daystar. Gotti fails to capture that opportunity. Speakeasy will look to link up warehouse side and has util.
Does get a tag onto Souffle. Still time for Weibo. But right now for Daystar, it's just all about playing the site positions and forcing this duo to have to push in. Souffle's going to be careful of the flames. Taken down to 1 HP, forced back of command. That does give some space for Weibo to now make a move in clearing out some of these positions. Still an air jab as well for Gotti.
Speakeasy might be able to drone haul him, but I don't know if he has a read onto Souffle.
Goes for the flame instead, and Seal pushed out, gets the headshot. Gotti's air jab hasn't really done much at the moment, but he does get a headshot onto Souffle, or the kill, I should say.
Oh, he knows where they are. He's worked this out. It's about breaking the cross.
The cross, though, is not easy to break. One electrical, left not mine blocking the doorway, pushing out of IT. Might force him to have to go the other way. Indeed, into command he goes. Razor Plume, though. One poison or the other. He still thinks he's behind the bomb chassis and he's got the right read, but Seal has got the right shot. Daystar take the lead. Back-to-back rounds. One to close the half and now one to start the half. Their sloppiness continues to creep into the game of Weibo. It's also 5 straight rounds. The opening kill has not mattered so far here on Labs.
Again, I still feel a little bit conflicted in categorizing this as worrisome for Weibo just yet, but certainly promising for Daystar, having some good moments in that round. Yao with a phenomenal pick there. The crab walk was certainly questionable, and he would have actually had the jump on Turd, funnily enough, but the rest of the team cleaned up. They had an advantage. Seal did a phenomenal job on that chassis and keeping Souffle alive for a little while longer, and it left Gotti in a very, very difficult to break cross at the end there. So good work on the top
not his
block.
role either, really, on the team to be that sort of clincher, the clutch man, 1v2. That's where you want your Reaps or your Turd or even your Hoven. And credit to Daystar too, because it got to a point in that 5th round where Weibo had actually found a little bit of that momentum. 3 or 4 rounds is quite significant. And since then, they've just gone bang, bang. Now they've retaken the lead, up 4-3. Is their map pick, emphasis on them certainly to win Nighthaven Labs. I think Chalet's going to be a struggle, but I mean, who knows? To be honest, even statistically looking at Nighthaven Labs, it really is quite favorable for Weibo historically.
God, he's only won a single 1vx.
This stage?
Yeah, over the last, over this year so far. Point of comparison, the highest, Turd with 10.
Again, I think, yeah, it's different roles, different expectations. He's not going to be adding to that number in this round. Is he
I'm not quite worried just yet, Jake, but we're getting closer towards it.
Basement slide here on the 8th round and a perfect start for Daystar. While basement on Labs is not the kind of site where you would fall back, play 5-stack, you will still contest, and with that, it does give an opening. Weibo find the next kill pack, at least through Speak Easy. A deal with Pika. And a drone out onto Souffle as they fight back now in this 8th round. They know full well Weibo's not the kind of team that's stupid. They know this is a bit of a tricky situation here on Labs. They need to be cautious, and Daystar are playing their A game. And Souffle gets caught on the vault over. The timing is impeccable if you're Souffle. That must be so frustrating.
And with that, Weibo have regained an advantage in the round. Still presence though on this first floor. Azuki and Yao will be eager to chip away at drones or maybe find a pick and peel. Very much easier said than done with both the Deimos and the Snake up. There's no shortage of information for Weibo, and they really shouldn't be getting caught out, especially with additional drones also available.
Oh, spotted 2 here as well over towards Cargo. 2 for 1 really could have been just the 1 spotted.
My location is clear.
Weibo's definitely been better with their time management in this series as well. Rapes actually gets the kill onto Seal.
Good catch.
Hang on a second. Double from Azuki and Yao. They do still have 2 gas babes with Azuki.
Oh, and Weibo have double committed to the job here, Animus, which means that the smoke's going to be really effective. They might be able to wait it out, though.
Turd taken down very low. They avoid the Nitrocell.
Turd's trying to rotate. This is ambitious.
40 seconds.
I mean, it's the right call, but there's he's made it work.
Oh, they've got a big drone here. That's what they want to try and play off. Yellow ping information onto Yao. They've got 30 seconds, as you said, that there is enough time they can play off the ping intel. That drone inside of assembly has got Yao dead to rights. If Turd can get there quick enough, Azuki falls. Where's that yellow ping? Yao's the final one left, 15 seconds. But if Hoven does die, then Turd has to get back to site quickly. Hoven just ends up getting the kill anyway.
Fair play.
Fair play.
That was a really good drone. And Turd with a smart rotate. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a player trying to exit Animus in that fashion. Highly unusual, but just really good read on the situation.
But by the time he got there was 15 seconds left. If Hoven dies, that could have been a very intriguing end to the round.
I think I still would have backed him in. That drone position had really good live info there. So it would have been still tough for Daystar to win out. Ultimately, they don't. Weibo able to tie the scoreline and recover from another early round that was particularly unfavorable, but they're finding a way to win them out.
Well, this streak is getting ridiculous now for the opening kills. I mean, it's just red. From round 3 to 8, not a single opening pick has been converted. Usually it's the opposite. Last night was a good example.
Yeah.
We were sitting at like a 90% win rate across both of the matches that were played. For the league average, it's around 70%. Right now, we've gone from 2 out of 8. That is a very, very strange game that's developing. And 2 ways to kind of look at it. Both teams either have the capability, of course, of bringing back 4v5s on a rather consistent basis, or both teams are just struggling to really convert advantages. Maybe it's a bit of both. Probably is.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Storage control for the 9th round to see who can eke out to a 5th round first. Well, it's proving quite difficult to actually gain ascendancy. I mean, so Weibo win 2 in a row rounds 4-5. Daystar win 2 in a row rounds 6 and 7. And now Weibo win round 8.
So the mirror in play for the IT breach. Seal close by with the Nitro to maybe try and find value. Weibo will be clued in though and cautious on their approach. With the mirror spotted close, Hoven will progress carefully. Oh, but he still gets caught. Got he? It was a great drone and a read from Weibo, but the play off the back of it was not ideal. Despite the flash dump, Seal was still able to net the opening kill and find the only primary hard breach.
Yeah, I mean, that's rough again for Weibo if there is Solas to be taken. Those opening picks have not been turning into round wins. Let's see what can happen.
Well, there is a Solace to be taken, but...
Well, he's on that first floor. I don't think Weibo are going to find him just yet. In fact, it may go the other way. He may find them. From below inside a lounge, Souffle watches this, but to be fair, Turd seems like he's got the read. Turd's got an idea, draws out the shots from Souffle. Turd doesn't overcommit, and that keeps himself alive. And Speakeasy hits the headshot onto Seal. He had one of the 2 remaining Nitro cells. Good Blackbeard play from Speakeasy. Pika has to just play the blue stairs. He kept pushing. I don't think Pika was ready for that. Yao was fortunately there for the trade as they double stacked over towards blue. But what this means now is Weibo with a minute have got Sledge and Ram to do what they please on that top floor.
Yeah, Daystar are quite vulnerable to the vert. They'll have to try and escape sight and play the horizontal. That now leaves them vulnerable to maybe some of the preset info available here to Weibo. They've been able to, of course, access those defender cams. You can see Gotti flicking that currently.
Oh, Zuki needs to stay alive. That Nitro cell's very important if they do go for a storage plan.
Yeah, he'll go below. Okay, he commits.
Yep, smart play. Interestingly, they could also double stack below if they want with the Solas. At the moment, Souffle will stay lounge. But if they were to double stack, it puts a lot of emphasis really on that Solas to get the intel as to where this kit's going. Because right now, Weibo to me look like they're shaping almost control side. In fact, yes, it will be a control side plant from Hoven. Azuki down below. Has he got the read? Has he got the right positioning? 10 seconds left into the round. Souffle does connect on the Reaps. Nitro Cell thrown up, and it doesn't even need to connect. All the shots land for Daystar.
Wow. That was one of the better rounds that we have seen from Daystar so far. Really deserving of the round win. They kicked it off with a nice Nitro over towards the IT breach, and then they've problem solved the end round there nicely. They had the threat of the Nitro down below. Weibo identified that and were trying their best to counteract it, but it meant that it allowed the others from Daystar to actually pounce on Weibo, found a good window of opportunity to net those kills, and ultimately the Nitro was not actually required to net the physical kills.
I think it was on though.
Oh, it would have been on.
Yeah.
And ultimately it was the pressure from down below that helped them get the kills. So.
And ultimately, we are now going back to the top 4, which is going to prove to be quite difficult for Weibo. Don't get it twisted. There's a real challenge in this Asia region. It's not just that Daystar are the second best team. They may be, yes, but they are challenging Weibo in this upper bracket final.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I think the gap continues to close. It keeps shrinking stage by stage between these two teams. Daystar just keep catching up. Now up 5-4 here on Nighthaven Labs.
Yeah, the back and forth continues. Top 4 successful last time out for Daystar, despite not winning the opening kill. Still getting a 3K on that initial attempt. Weibo will be looking to sharpen up here. Important to, of course, note that they have already used their tactical timeout.
It's a strange game.
Daystar still have theirs, right?
They do.
Okay, that could be quite notable. I imagine here, if Daystar are going to lose this round, it would probably be a case into the break point of calling out.
Only one multi-kill round, only one plant, and only 3 opening kills converted. It's a barren match of Siege in terms of
it's a
our
weird one, yeah.
tracker.
Reloading, cover me.
Looking at some of the changes in this round for Weibo specifically on their attack heading into command server. So they drop the IQ, they drop the Sophia, and they drop the Nomad. They bring Lion, Deimos, and Twitch instead, keeping the Ace and the Capital. So a pretty significant change up in this 10th round, attempting again to attack into this top floor. On the flip side, it's a straight 1-for-1 if you're Daystar. It's just the 2-round dropped for the Jaeger. Jaeger, of course, receiving some buffs over last night as well. In fact, I'm almost anticipating we're going to see a lot of Jaeger with my combo once again.
Could be util meta 2.0. It probably won't be as extreme.
If you have Jaeger or Mai, throw in the Denari. Talk about util meta that you
Maybe
can
an
deny.
Aruni as well.
Yeah, throw in the Aruni. Why not? At that point, you just don't even throw anything. It's not worth it.
So you just bring the Zofia and you can spam out 6 projectiles.
Well, they don't bring the Zofia this round. 90 seconds, halfway through this 10th round. Probably the slowest pace round that we've seen from Weibo so far in this second half. Hoven trying to do some work from this first floor on the Deimos. Death Tracker onto Azuki playing electrical. There are no...
Oh.
Well, I was going to say, there's not many rounds in which we've seen Weibo pick up an opening kill.
Uh-oh.
But they needed that one, and they are able to get it. Pika forcing the fight towards electrical.
Oh, the catch is really screwing Speakeasy, but he still gets the kill.
Well, I think Pika tried to time him on the utility usage of the Capitao. Speakeasy was able to get his gun back up in time to get that kill. They do lose Turd. Turd's been very quiet this game. He's been well managed by Daystar. He's only 4-8. Final line scan from Gotti, 30 seconds. Daystar, if they can hold on and win this round, it's going to be very brutal for Weibo. It's the Razor Bloom onto Reaps.
Speakeasy has no util to layer here. He needs to just fight his way in with a 1.
Well, no one's really got much. There is a frag grenade for Hoven, and he does still have a drone in pocket. 20 seconds, that's it.
Oh,
Still a Nitrocell for Yao as well, over towards Warehouse. That was a Razor Bloom thrown to the feet from Souffle. Yao stuck though. He hasn't actually got into a position to use his Nitrocell. That's been a bit of a short-sighted moment from Daystar. Speakeasy will fall, but the plant will be successful. Yao comes in late. He was too preoccupied towards Rafters to use this Nitro. Gets on the kit, will go for the counter defuse. It's an easy swing for Hoven. We are tied at 5-5. I feel like I've said that quite a few times over the last 24 hours. We've had some close maps.
Yeah, that was really good from Speakeasy. Not only the duel over towards electrical, but then backing himself in to get to the plant position with an attack starved of utility, and then he shot out the Razor Bloom.
But imagine if that was a Nitrocell thrown at him instead.
Yeah, he would have been in strife. But unfortunately, the Nitro was isolated, and Yao couldn't fight against the IT breach.
Well, you were right about the tactical timeout being called for Daystar. Immediately, Harambe will respond and talk to the troops. Heading into that breakpoint round, they lose top floor. That, to me, that round right there on that site does feel like it has kind of come out of... for me, it surprised me a little bit. The game was shaping up to be in Daystar's favor. 3 of the last 4 rounds. You kind of look at the opening kill advantages. They had 4 of the last 6 for Daystar. Surprisingly, the game was starting to get in their control, especially after they won the tertiary side of storage and control. For them to then lose top floor, it does then bring it back slightly for Weibo.
An interesting side stat for these two as we find ourselves sort of in the midst of what's classified as the closing stretch, so rounds 10 through to 12. Weibo have a 71% win rate through 10 to 12. Daystar on the other side have a 77% win rate, so at least so far up to this point doing a slightly better job in closing out games.
Well, I mean, Weibo, I would imagine, close out games far more often, though. So Weibo's stat, for me, the way I would kind of look at it, to dive deeper,
they might not be getting to that
they're not getting, exactly, they're not getting there often. So when they do get there, they're playing better teams for the most part, and better teams, therefore, are going to bring their percentages down.
10 seconds to go.
67% for basement, attack and defense. That leaves us in a pickle because it's 5-5. You mean to tell me it's going to be an even round?
No, you can't have draws anymore, so.
Area safe. Drone up.
It's going to be top down from Weibo, leveraging the info from Turd and Reaps. Gotti can worry about IT if it is to be reinforced, and then Hoven can establish Vert with the Ram. Looking across the positions from Daystar, it's a 2-2-1 split, investing the Clash up above initially here for Souffle, who's quietly worked his way up to 12 kills in this map. Seal below and storage susceptible to Reaps. Seemingly unaware
Oh, yeah. Oh no. Oh my God. Reaps the reaction. The headshot. Clinical then onto Yao as well. Looking for the response. Reaps hasn't really been at his ultra best so far tonight. Maybe even this stage. But you see the glimpses. It's still there. Well, Daystar haven't been in this predicament too often in this match. Finding themselves down 2 players, and on a basement site that's difficult to fall back to. There's not a lot of safety for them. They almost have to push forward into the fire. But Peak is forced to drop, and rightfully so. It leaves Soufflé at the top of cargo stairs.
I think if you're Soufflé, you have to make a do-or-die play here. There's no point going back to site. You're susceptible to the
shield down, SMG
make
up.
A play. Make a play. Since the Blackbeard should be favored.
Getting a bit of help as well from Pika. This is a 2-on-1, but flashbang comes in. This might be what Weibo wants, to just try and corral them towards cargo.
I'll speak easy. We'll just sit there and bait, and the rest of the team will work site.
No.
But maybe that won't be successful.
Turd is really struggling in this match. 4 and 9. Not often that he finds himself with those sort of numbers. Second highest rated player, and that's a freebie onto Reaps. Pika just able to lurk down the hallway. He might get another one as well, but it's the Blackbeard to speak easy. Surely they didn't think he went back down cargo.
I'll speak easy, left a gap
and
there.
Now he's gone up top floor. I mean, Pika, you said Soufflé's the one that maybe needs to make the play. Pika's the one that's gone and done it. He's just moving around the map. They're playing a game of cat and mouse, and Azuki on site has found 2 kills from the site position. Weibo have squandered a 5 versus 3 advantage. Suki with 3. Pika comes back to help. Daystar absolutely tear Weibo apart. Map point here on Nighthaven Labs. Down 3 versus 5.
They turned it up big time in that round. It was on somebody, and I thought it was going to be Soufflé to make a hero play in that round, but it was Pika to find that opportunity. Cargo side, I think Speakeasy got distracted or called to move elsewhere, and without that stairway being monitored, it allowed him to sneak up, and Reaps gets shot, and it's probably like, hello?
That moment that you've got off screen, which we'll probably see in the replay, 3 versus 5, and there was a 1v1 Turd versus Azuki. If Turd doesn't lose that battle, and he wins it, that's site control, that's 5v2, that's probably the round. That kill from Azuki had a huge ripple effect in the round, and we'll see if that ripple effect extends to the series. 6-5. First and only map point in regulation. Can Daystar close it out? They go back to the top floor. It's command server. What have they learned from that 10th round loss?
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, tension rising inside of the server. This is the map pick of Daystar, and we are expecting, barring a catastrophe, for Weibo to bounce back, and significantly so on the second map, but it's still the kind of position we didn't quite expect. Yes, it is 1v2, but the gap between these two rosters was expected to be quite a gulf. We probably expected a Weibo 2-0, but at this point in time, Daystar making a strong case that a third map will be required.
Interesting, they bring the Azami, and I say only interesting because they haven't actually brought the Azami at all in this half. For an operator that's typically either banned out or played quite extensively on Nighthaven Labs.
I didn't really see any play in the first half, interestingly, either.
Well, it was banned in the first half, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Ah, well, that would be why.
You weren't wrong. But yes, very strong in this Rafters position. They dropped the Thorn. They also have dropped the Denari and the Fenrir. So a big change up for Daystar on this return to the top floor. Essentially, the Jaeger and the Wamai are the only two operators they've kept the same.
Yeah, the double catch here is going to be interesting. It certainly caught out Speakeasy with his util usage in the last round, and he plays a similar-ish role with the Grim this time as opposed to the Capital.
Pika's in basement at the moment.
Maybe some C4 maxing this round for Daystar.
Yeah, a little bit. They got 3 of them.
I love this position in particular, electrical, but elsewhere it's Hoven to find the first. Actually finding Pika, went for the hunt, and Pika got caught out.
With the way that this match has gone, though, I don't think that opening kill is going to have huge repercussions. Daystar is still well in this game. There you go. Speakeasy falls. The Grim goes down. Azuki wins that 1v1 over towards Connector. Low on health, expecting now maybe reinforcements for the troops to arrive. He's having to play two different positions. Turd finally wins a battle. Feels like it's been a while since we've seen that in the top right kill feed. Azuki will stay tucked in. Good clear though again from Turd. Switched on in this map point round. Souffle gets rid of Reaps, and Souffle and Seal are a dangerous and dynamic duo. Don't count them out just because they're down a player. 40 seconds, but they're still in winnable positions. And Nitrocell, command and IT control. The shock drone to come through to get some more information for Turd. Does still have a smoke that can maybe aid the push into site. Gotti falls, and it's a 2v2, 30 seconds.
And the Nitro, it could be key here. It makes it difficult for Weibo to commit.
Might not be needed because Souffle just shits all over them. Doesn't need that Nitrocell. Daystar will take the opening map of this upper bracket final against Weibo. The challengers taking it up to the Kings of the Asia region. And it's up to now Said King to respond in map 2.
สวัสดีครับผมชื่อนายพัทรนายผลทรัพย์ชื่อในเกมชื่อเลเบลินครับตอนนี้เล่นให้กับโฟลี่ครับผมก็ตั้งแต่ผมเกิดขึ้นมานะครับพ่อกับแม่ผมเนี่ยเขาเปิดร้านเกมแล้วผมเนี่ยก็อยู่กับร้านเกมอยู่กับเกมมาตั้งแต่เด็กนี้พอผมโตขึ้นผมก็เล่นเกมไปเรื่อยๆเพราะว่าบ้านผมเปิดร้านเกมผมเป็นคนที่ชอบเล่นเกมยิงปืนอยู่แล้วนะครับแล้วทีนี้พอเล่นไปปุ๊บก็มีคนมาชวนเข้าทีมนั่นก็เลยเป็นจุดเริ่มต้นแห่งการเป็นนักแข่งก็ตอนนั้นตอนที่ผมผมเปิดร้านเกมนะครับเกมแรกที่ผมเล่นแล้วรู้สึกสนุกเลยก็คือเกม PB Point Blank อะไรเงี้ยเป็นเกมแรกที่ผมได้มีการแข่งขันจริงๆแล้วผมก็เล่นทุกเกมครับไม่เกี่ยวว่าจะต้องเป็นเกมยิงปืนแต่ว่าถ้าส่วนตัวแล้วก็ชอบที่จะเล่นเกมยิงปืนมากกว่าเพราะถ้าเกิดว่าพ่อกับแม่ไม่ได้เปิดร้านเกมนี้ผมอาจจะไม่ได้เป็นนักแข่งหรือว่าอาจจะไม่ได้เล่นเกมอย่างที่ทุกวันนี้เล่นครับเหมือนว่าตอนนั้นผมดูแข่งแล้วผมเห็นมีนักแข่งเล่นแล้วเห็นรู้สึกว่าเขาเท่ดีแล้วเขาตะโกนเขาเท่เขาไปแข่งเป็นทีมอะไรอย่างนี้มีชนะมีชูถ้วยทำให้ผมรู้สึกว่าถ้าผมเป็นนักแข่งเนี่ยผมก็คงอยากจะถือถ้วยอยากจะชนะอะไรอย่างนี้บ้างเป็นโมเมนต์ที่ดีก็เวลาที่ผมแข่งแล้วก็รู้สึกสนุกแล้วก็จริงจังไปกับมันส่วนตัวผมเป็นคนชอบตะโกนอยู่แล้วก็เลยเวลาแข่งก็รู้สึกสนุกดีถึงแม้ว่าเวลาแพ้จะเสียใจจะมีร้องไห้บ้างอะไรอย่างนี้แต่ก็สนุกดีที่ได้การเป็นนักแข่งครับก็ถ้าเมื่อก่อนก็จะการแข่งเกมก็อาจจะมีการรายการค่อนข้างเยอะอะไรอย่างนี้แต่ว่าเดี๋ยวนี้ประเทศไทยไม่ค่อนข้างที่จะไม่ค่อยเยอะเหมือนเมื่อก่อนแล้วเมื่อตอนที่ผมเล่นเป็นนักแข่ง CSGO นะครับมีเพื่อนมาชวนให้ผมไปลองเล่นRainbow Six ดูแล้วพอผมไปเล่นแล้วก็รู้สึกว่าสนุกกับมันแล้วก็พอผมเลิกเป็นนักแข่งของ CSGO แล้วก็ไปเล่นกดแรงที่ Rainbow Six แล้วก็มีคนมาชวนเข้าทีมผมก็เลยนั่นก็เป็นจุดเริ่มต้นที่ทำให้ผมได้เริ่มต้นรู้จัก Rainbow Six แน่นอนครับผมก็ยังสนุกกับการแข่งขันของเกมอยู่ถึงแม้ว่าผมจะอายุเยอะขึ้นแต่ก็คิดว่าก็คงจะแข่งเกมไปเรื่อยๆจนกว่าจะรู้สึกว่าไม่ไหวแล้วก็พ่อกับแม่ผมก็คอยซัพพอร์ตอยู่ตลอดไม่ว่าจะยังไงแล้วก็ล่าสุดก็ที่ปารีสก็มีการซื้อตั๋วให้แม่กับป้าไปเชียร์ที่ปารีสผมรู้สึกว่าก็ดีกันที่พ่อกับแม่ซัพพอร์ตก็รู้สึกว่าชีวิตหนึ่งมีครั้งเดียวก็อยากให้พ่อกับแม่เห็นในความสำเร็จของเราที่ได้มาเป็นนักแข่งได้มาแข่งในต่างประเทศอะไรอย่างนี้ถึงแม้จะไม่ชนะแต่ว่าการที่พ่อกับแม่มาดูเราแข่งก็เป็นสิ่งที่ครั้งหนึ่งในชีวิตต้องมีก็ครอบครัวก็รู้สึกดีถึงแม้ที่ผมเป็นนักแข่งแล้วพอผมชนะได้ไปแข่งนี้เขาก็รู้สึกว่าดีใจจริงที่มีลูกไปนำชื่อเสียงให้กับพ่อกับแม่อะไรอย่างเงี้ยก็ขอบคุณพ่อกับแม่นะครับที่คอยดูตามเชียร์รวมถึงป้าด้วยครับก็ทุกๆคนที่เชียร์ผมก็จะทำให้เต็มที่ทุกๆปีจนกว่าจะเลิกแข่งจะทำให้พ่อกับแม่ผิดหวังนะครับ รักพ่อกับแม่ครับ
I don't think a single soul could have predicted what we just witnessed. Daystar take the first map in the series against a very strong Weibo at this point. I feel as though, Dev, Weibo were coming into this as probably, I would say, my number one team in all of APAC.
You think that they're better than Chiefs, EP,
I
CAG?
think Weibo
okay.
clear, CAG, Chiefs, EP.
I think that's a hot take, but
Sure.
not the hottest. I think you're onto something here. I think you've clued into what a lot of people are thinking right now
Yep.
about how good Weibo are relatively. I'll back you up and I'll say I think relative to their sub-region, Weibo have looked like the most ahead.
Sure.
No more than EP or Chiefs or CAG. And yet Daystar has taken the first map. That is an upset. Of course, it's not too much of a surprise yet. We know these teams do tend to go reasonably deep when they play each other. Daystar
Always.
are clearly the second best team, if not the best team in Asia
Yep.
right now. Can they go
Okay.
deeper than that though? Something that really sticks out to me is what you were talking about during that game, Nick. You said, I think, at 6-5, you were like, Daystar should have won this 4 rounds ago.
Yeah, they should have won a round ago at least of that, like 7-5, 7-4 kind of scoreline, right? Or 7-4, yeah? Because they had a C4 and a 3v3 that should have gone out.
Yeah.
It denies the plan, 3v2, they win from there or not. Regardless, they bottled that round, and I thought the pressure got to them. That's going to be it, the Weibo classic comeback, but no. And the reason how this played out is Daystar did two things really well. On tertiary bomb side, they recognized that the shield play, the Blackbeard from Speakeasy, that's gonna be the win condition. They play impacts, they play C4s, early aggression, shut them down, boom. Then they play top floor, much more utility heavy. Guess what? They play Wamai Jaeger. They deny the Capital, they counter them again. So Daystar are actually just predicting what kind of power-ups that Weibo can be bringing and going for a counterplay. That plus Gotti dying as the first member twice just on the attacking side alone, that is super unusual. So Weibo are on super unfamiliar territory. They were in a spot for the majority of that game that they had never been in for the entirety of the stage.
It's bizarre to me that we've seen bizarre isn't the right word, because we do expect strong performances out of Daystar. We know that they're a strong team, but I think Guz put it really well going into the second half, Dev. It was messy. Like, it was a messy first half, and that only replicated, maybe even compounded a little in the second.
Sure. Yeah, I think that Weibo are a great team at dealing with individuals who are going crazy aggressive, right? When teams are trying to cheese stuff. But they're also really good at understanding when teams really telegraph their pushes. I feel like we see that from teams like Orchid and Soul's Heart. Teams that become more predictable. I think Weibo, they have such a deep understanding of the game that they know how to counter that once they read you. I feel like Daystar are this interesting in-between where they have some preset plans, but they also are so chill at thriving in the chaos. And I think in particular, we've talked a lot about...
the last round.
Well, yeah, you could use the last round as an example. Daystar won defense.
Last round, they had a 3v3, they had a C4, right? We're thinking it's gonna be about the C4. I think Jake holding the cast. It's gonna be the C4 Wamai is gonna change the game. No, he just swings out and takes the fight. He throws a curveball to Weibo in the chaos.
I think that's the important thing when you're going up against a team that really loves to play executes. Not only you're banning out the Monty and the Glaz, you're banning out some of those execute ops. You're taking the fight to them early and clearly hitting them where it hurts. As you said, Gotti dying twice early. That is the opposite to the reason of why we picked him.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that we're seeing an imbalance right now that doesn't seem to be righting itself. APL man heading into Chalet. What do Weibo have to do to turn this series around? Unfortunately, we don't have time for that. We are ready with this matchup. It is Daystar 1-0 up in the series, and Weibo are on the ropes, but a wounded beast is still a goddamn beast, and Weibo should never be confused with anything but. Let's get underway with Chalet.
And APL, man, it is a huge second map coming up for Daystar, an opportunity to claim that top spot going into the grand final. And for Weibo, looking at redemption. Guz, though, a map, of course, that they picked, but alas, one they've never lost on, so they should feel very comfortable coming into Chalet. And I say never, never this year. I'm sure they've lost it at some point in the last 10 years.
In the last decade. I'm sure it has happened. Well, we'll see if Daystar can turn that trend on its head. It's going to be a tricky one, though, as the bands do roll through. Denari and Thorn, Snake and Glaz. Looking at this from more of a perspective of Weibo, defensively, they'll typically have the Castle and the Mirror band against them. Malusi, Thorn, and the Azami also at a similar frequency. So the Denari is a slight point of difference there. We'll see how much of an impact it does end up having in this matchup.
Yeah, I think Daystar, the benefit of winning Nighthaven Labs is they get to come into Chalet getting to play that free punch, no real stress, no expectation really on them to have to win this. And Consulate is going to be a different beast altogether. Chalet, of course, really is going to be the primary map for Weibo. When you go to Consulate, well, I mentioned Weibo have not lost this map this year. Well, Daystar have actually not lost Consulate this year. And Weibo have a 3-2 record on it. It's their 7th map preference. I think that's really going to be the goal for Daystar, which is just get to Consulate. So by winning Labs, you've done that. Job done. You didn't have to now do the impossible here on Chalet. This is just a freebie. I know we was kind of sitting when the guys on the desk were kind of talking. You know, they're breaking it down and talking about all these cool things. And we're just kind of looking at each other. This is probably going to be like 7-2, 7-3 to Weibo. If we're going to be completely honest and candid, I think that's the way we frame it. Now, whether that happens or not, well, remains to be seen. Bedroom office for the opening round.
Daystar definitely suffered back on Labs with some of their time management on attack, so that's something that I'll be looking at here on Chalet. If that's something that has been tidied up. Definitely cannot be critical, though, of their general gunplay, their clutch ability across the board, and ultimately some of the teamwork they were able to show, particularly defensively. Unfortunately for them, though, round one off to a poor start. Reap's aggressive in bar stock. He nets the first kill, takes away the buck. And so Yao will need to sit on drones for the remainder of this opening round. Turd now getting in on the action library stairs side. He's likely undetected. It's sealed close by in mud. And a freebie for Turd. So a poor start here from Daystar, and
well, it doesn't really...
It's not really too much of a surprise.
No, it doesn't bode well for the way we kind of phrased or framed this particular map. If you're Daystar, I mean, you want to be competitive at the very least. Yeah, you don't have to win this map. Clearly, you won Ninehaven Labs fair and square, and Consulate looks like it'll be actually a pretty decent battleground to set these two up for the potential grand final. A reminder, by the way, of course, for Asia having now only the one slot as Speakeasy gets the freest kill on Souffle. With that slot being only for a single team, this upper bracket final doesn't quite have the same ramifications as the Oceania upper bracket final last night. This is not a qualification game or an elimination game for that matter.
It's potentially and most likely a precursor for said qual/elim game, the grand final.
It's very likely the preview for the actual grand final as where we get the opening round. And so far, preview going to script. I think this is good. Daystar showing that competitiveness on Ninehaven Labs. I think Weibo will answer back here on Chalet, and Consulate will be quite an appetizer. You do want to win this, though. You don't want to mess around in that lower bracket. Soul's Heart, Orchid, two good teams. Who knows on the given day?
And you can hide more of your pool, etc. So there's zero incentive to be going into this match with a 50% effort, right? This is a lock yourself in the grand final, no questions asked sort of performance. And while Daystar were able to show that on map number 1, but given probably the deficit in map pool depth for these two, and Daystar, I'm sure as they played out the veto, would have been well and truly conscious and aware that Chalet was going to be a 1% chance at best. Would have their eyes set on Consulate, and so in terms of this map, it's really just about not crushing too much confidence heading into the third, right? They just need to go in, try and have some fun. If they can get a few rounds here or there, if they can just ensure that their comms are tidy and their mechanics are sharp, that's the main takeaway. Anything beyond that would be a huge bonus.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Hey, going back to Ninehaven Labs in terms of some of the numbers very quickly, but Souffle was outstanding, really. 15 and 5, 2 entry, no deaths, 75% constant, a 1.25 KPR. The only player that was above 1 in that metric. Got a plant as well. Had the highest survivability rate as well, 58%. Kitchen Dining leaves us in the second round, kind of where we left off in the first round. Heavy focus on this top floor. Defending around bedroom and office, extension towards piano. The way the Daystar are currently set on the triple stack rappel outside of Solar, it looks like it will be that top-down clear as the focus. They do have Pika, that's also on a library side lurk. So decent map presence on the attack for Daystar.
Turn under pressure. Didn't have the best of performances back on Labs, and so this is a good confidence building potential exercise for him. As Daystar look to continually chip away at utility, but I'm still seeing key parts still standing. This shield, notably in piano, will give Reaps a solid opportunity to hold this cross through sight. A position that Daystar likely do want to clear. Oh, he's just too clued in.
Yeah, I mean, he completely knows that for a while you're going to get the jump in once you make contact with the bathroom player. Quick turn, really well played, sharp from Reaps, and flawless from Weibo. probably more signs of things to come.
Are we still expecting the set? What scoreline are we? I mean, I know I said 7-2.
Yeah, you said 7-2. I said 7-2, 7-3. I think starting defense helps as well.
Yeah,
for that sort of little guess at the numbers. Yeah, bar games now for the third round. Also, the fact that they've won
Attackers need to locate and
the first 2 rounds, 4 alive, 5 alive, double opening kill start. Every single thing that could go right to begin here on Chalet has gone in that direction. We came into this match expecting this, and we're getting it. Things can change well and truly, and it can change quickly, but it will probably need to change quickly if you're Daystar. And it's not like Daystar come into this game, by the way. Yeah, well, the way that we phrase this, it's not like they walk in and think, oh, well, let's just lose quickly and then go to consulate. Like, you still got to try. Like, you still would rather win here on Chalet. It's not like Daystar aren't trying. It clearly just shows the level
mismatch.
of readability that Weibo have on this map. Like, this is just a map diff, really.
And a pool diff, ultimately, really, when you narrow it down. It's not a... To be clear, this isn't a case of Daystar just completely screwed the veto and have, for whatever reason, left up Chalet like it's the one and only map that Weibo are dominant on. There's plenty of others. It's more so a reflection of just how limited the pool is comparatively. That's not to say that Daystar have a terrible pool by any means, but Weibo have a lot of depth that it's very difficult to match them on such a large pool that we now have.
I mean, back in the final play day when these two teams played each other on Bank, that actually was one of the perma bans for Weibo, and yet they still won.
Yeah.
Turd gets the opening kill onto Azuki. Gets rid of the Nomad nice and early. Gotti will forfeit his position of top library, drop down the hatch. So Daystar do technically clear it out. They've still got to contend with the mezzanine position held by Hoven. It doesn't help as well when you kind of look at the first 3 rounds. Weibo opening pick into opening pick. So you're constantly playing as a 4v5, attacking into Chalet. They're going to try and go for the bar stock. Maverick hole open up.
Can't really do it though when Hoven's here. You're sure you can smoke it, but they still commit. Okay.
They commit. They get it open.
They'll just use it as perceived pressure though. No one really to actively man it.
And they also don't have the numbers now as they did lose one.
They can't commit someone to holding it. Yeah. And Gotti might even go searching here for a bit of info and then call it clear, and then Turd knows that he's chilling for the rest of the round.
He also has the deployable shield anyway.
Exactly. He's hands off keyboard.
He's chilling. He's chilling. He's big chill. And there's only a minute left. You've still got Yokai's available. Vulcan canisters still to
This
deal
ultimately ends up just being a util's arm double window, Daystar jump, and it's a Hail Mary. I'd be surprised if it's much else.
If you want to put a percentage on it, where are you sitting?
5%.
5? Wow, that's high. I would have given it 1.
Nah, that's 5.
All right.
Okay, now it's 15.
15.
Oh, if he got that kill, it would have been 40.
Jeez.
That was
Turd is lucky to be alive. Reaps shuts down Seal before things could get interesting in this third round. So library control established for Daystar. The library is not the site. You need to push back down into bar games, and you still need to clear out bar stock as well. And there's that Yokai inside a game. Speakeasy's ready and waiting, and he's sitting in basement too, so they're not going to get rid of him. That Echo is going to be in play.
So 10 seconds on the board. Can Souffle get the kit on the ground?
Oh no, Souffle vaults in, no contest from Turd, but again, remember, there is that Yokai. 3 seconds, he's not even going to get the chance to plant. This one's done. 3-0 for Weibo. Yao is technically getting the plant, but Turd an easy swing. And we'll head into the bans. I'd say your 5% was definitely looking a little bit more on than my 1%. There were some intriguing moments.
Turd got, dare I say, a little lucky there. He got caught on the timing on the vault, and he did just enough to reposition and not take an additional bullet. One bullet could have been a difference maker in that round. You clear that position, it would have put a lot more pressure on the rest of the defense, probably would have strained Speakeasy more on the Yokais. It could have been very interesting. Ultimately, though, not the way it pans out. Weibo with a perfect start. And I would have thought that maybe that's now the prompt for attack. You've seen all 3 sites. You can now formulate a bit of a plan going forward. But, oh, okay. I was right. There we go. So
usually I'm the one that calls the tags, but you're on the money today, so keep going. Keep going, guys. Yeah, Daystar tactical timeout, 3 rounds gone by. I agree with this. I think coming out of the bans as well, extend it. Those unfamiliar, you do have the ability for coaches to talk during the mid-half bans, which is usually a discussion point about, teams whether they take the tactical timeout or not. Usually we're like, oh, well, they don't need to because they can talk during the ban, but I think
an extra minute would help.
Yeah, exactly. Like there are cases where using it in addition to the tac timeout gives you an extended chance to talk. And if you're Harambe, he's pretty chill. They don't need to win this map. They know that. And it's looking likely we're going to go to Consulate. Hunt doesn't look overly stressed either.
Doesn't strike me as the guy that gets too stressed during an official. At least not in this setting. Yeah, we're pretty pleased with how Chalet is developing so far. Basically going exactly to the script that we have set out. I think the twists and turns are more likely to prop up in Consulate, if anything. But rounds don't just come to you for free. Weibo still have to put in a level of effort here to get the result across the line, and they've done that so far. As for the additional bans as well, to quickly note, Mirror taken out for defense, and the Capital no longer available for the attack. That will probably wreak havoc a little bit more on Bar, for example, when you think about the util clearance, right? If you bring the Wamai or Jaeger not having the Capital to burn that. Not that you're typically going to use the Capital for the burn, but it can be an option that's just going to limit it a little bit. And Bar backstore as well will be further fortified.
It's actually a pretty big change in operator lineup for Weibo from the opening round bedroom and office into this 4th round. Only the Aruni features twice, and the Solus. Apologies, Solus and the Aruni, the 2 to feature twice. They bring the Mute, the Ella, and the Malusi, this time in place of the Azami Mirror, which has been banned out, and the Wamai. It's just going to wait out this death mark as Yao pushes forward into Dining. We actually have a little bit of early confrontation. Nitrocell, a small tag up onto Yao, but nothing more from Reaps. Yao is buying a lot of time. Adrenal Surge activated from Pika. Yao, by the way, is just completely isolated by himself on this Monty. He's not got anyone playing behind him at the moment. Reaps, of course, is unaware of that, so he's preemptively firing behind. Oh, they get a pinch. Turds caught Yao completely off guard. The Monty goes down. That solo isolated Monty, who had no one playing with him, eventually gets overwhelmed. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, okay, well, Seal, that's a low percentage fight to be taking. Outside, shooting from below through the floorboard to expect to win that fight. I mean, if we're throwing out percentages, you're like a 10% chance of winning that. And what's the other thing to note here on Chalet, it's not just the map diff, Reaps and Turd are back.
Turd, for me, is going to be especially scary. If he builds a bit of confidence heading back into cons, he can be a massive difference maker. I think we did feel maybe the effect of that on map 1, where he wasn't having as much influence as we would anticipate. Another vert fight in favor of Weibo.
This is out of the tactical timeout, don't forget. It's looking like it's going to be flawless. Back on Nighthaven Labs, 6-10 for Turd, 0-1 on the entry. Reaps was 8-10. 3-1 on the entry, though at least he was good there. But here on Chalet, Reaps now up to 6-2, 2-0 on the entry. Turd 4. They'll make it 5 now in this round. 5-0 with 2-0 on the entry. So already he's pretty much put in the same performance as Labs in 4 rounds here on Chalet. Azuki got to find a kill and would only get one here by bodies being thrown at the door, but Gotti confirms it will be flawless. A struggle on the attack of Chalet for Daystar, unable to break through the defensive lines of Weibo Gaming. Chalet sits at the middle of the map pool when it comes to attack and defensive win rate within Asia. Sits at 53 split in favor of the attack. The most dominant site for attack is Bar Games at 71%. Kitchen, dining, bedroom, office, defender sided in the low 50s. Which, I mean, actually, technically, for the most part, Chalet is defenders. This is a weird one. So it's a 53% attack win rate of the map. But because the Bar Games attacker win rate is sitting at a whopping 71%, it overrides the 53% defensive win rate of Kitchen Dining and the 59% defensive win rate of Bedroom Office. But on a site basis, 2 of the 3 sites are defender-sided, even if the actual whole map is considered quote-unquote attacker-sided. Yeah, sometimes you really got to look into the sites themselves.
Let's follow on from that. What are the stats on cons? Because the starting sides of the third map will be determined by who has the greater round diff, and I think it's very safe to assume that Weibo will have that advantage.
Well, cons has only been played twice this stage in Asia. It's sitting at an 82% defensive win rate.
Okay, well, the data's not
So
great,
yeah,
but I would want to start defense, and Weibo might find themselves in that position.
Well, and to flow on from that, yeah, I mean, all 3 sites on Consulate are 75% and above defensive win rate. Who's starting defense?
Whoever gets the better round diff, which is why dominating on this map is great for Weibo.
I would say they're not going to win this in a 7-5 fashion or into OT, which means they're guaranteed they're going to get the better round diff.
I'm curious what happens if it's a draw in round diff. I assume it would be a coin flip.
Wondering if there's any other element that you could potentially look at. Map time. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Should just be a 1v1 knife duel to the death.
Well, Speakeasy has gone down within the first minute of this 5th round. If Daystar are to turn Chalet into a contest and take the second half a bit more seriously, they do need 2 attacking rounds here. It's an absolute must. They must win 5 and 6. Goes without saying 6-0, and I still think even 5-1 isn't going to bode well for them. But 4-2, okay, things could get interesting. Sloto canister out by Turf midway through this round to delay the surface wall from being opened up. Otherwise, with that Speakeasy death, it was the first opening kill of the map for Daystar, courtesy of Pika.
Daystar still need to find a way to leverage this Monty correctly, which has proven to be a challenge for them so far, as they still look to chip away at this top floor control. In the meantime, Weibo have peeled ever so slightly back Solar side with the 2-2 split.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact they've still got this trophy control, although I don't like the fact that they've just lost Oliver. Now this is really looking good for Daystar. They might actually be able to get this 5th round. And with that would then make round 6 actually quite enticing. And they forced Turd all the way back down to basement. And Turd is now dead. Okay, Pika gets a 3rd kill in the round. They're just getting slaughtered. Where did this round come from? This was not in the script. And it's going to make it interesting. Okay, flawless from Daystar in round 5. Now we go into a 6th round. Still must win for me. Because I don't think 5-1's going to cut it for Daystar in here on Chalet. Even 4-2 is probably still a stretch. But 4-2 does give them a chance.
That round was a bit like, you know how sometimes TV shows will have that weird one-off episode with like a side character arc that has no influence on the rest of the season? That was kind of what that round may end up being. that came out of nowhere. It was fair play to Daystar to be able to convert it. Good work of the 1-2, and the clear above was pretty clean. Weibo got caught on their heels. So certainly a well-deserved one, but they need to double down. They need to find a second here to remain competitive. 1-5 won't cut it. And we return to Bar, which has proven to be, again, pretty troublesome for them. I'm interested to see if the Capitao ban's going to alleviate some of the pressure even more so for Weibo and reinforce some of those power positions that we saw them really lean into heavily last time. So I'm quite concerned for Daystar heading into this round and how they'll util dump these positions. We talked about the Aruni before as well. Aruni and Wamai in combination.
Yeah.
Have fun clearing
I mean,
that.
I do feel like, we were speaking before about it. Maybe it's a bit much stacking into sort of one element defensively with the catch when you go Rooney, Wamai, and Jaeger.
Oh, mate. Old dog, new tricks.
Well,
It's
well,
2019 all over again.
I think a combination of Wamai and one of Rooney or Jaeger, pending what you feel is better based on the site of the map. But I don't know about all three.
I mean, the patch has been out for not even a day, so it's going to take a little while.
Well, I mean,
we're going to really see the effects of that
hence
at
the
AWC.
speculation, yeah. I mean, look, I've got to say, one of the cool things about when patches come out is the speculation and seeing how the meta develops. One of the bad things about when the patch comes out is it typically is in the middle of our APL broadcasts.
So a minute down then in the 6th, final round of the first half. How did Daystar look to break down this defense? Weibo investing heavily into utility, but also lurk threat reaps on this western side of the map as he will vacate that position and rotate above it accordingly. Slowed out a little bit there by the Lion. Still information mode here for Daystar on the attack, trying to garner that with drones. Could try and set up a cutoff for Reaps. As you can see, it's a little precarious for them to enter on this portion of the map, but it's turned elsewhere, the library actually to find that pick. And that's utility lost for the attack, and the more that they lose, the more difficult this round becomes.
Yeah, and library is difficult to take without the Kalpatau into the Wamai and the Aruni. So Turd's got the flexibility to then be more aggressive with that DMR. And Reaps then has, oh my god, if he had just taken one more step to the right, he gets a free kill. But they don't know he's kitchen.
Well, they couldn't move because of the scan.
Oh my god, oh my god. Reaps couldn't control it. Well, if he can't control it, how can any of us be expected to?
Might be the one time I've seen his sense maybe be a little bit too high. First time anyone's ever said that sentence.
Under a minute left, 4v4, they deal with the Solus.
Still a tough clear though with the Yokais as
Again,
well.
they don't have top library either, so like you don't have the vert, you're gonna have to go horizontally, probably push into bar, but then you don't have Mez control.
And Weibo know you're coming because of Reaps.
Yeah, and God, he can just hold the doorway with the shotgun. And well, he switches over to the SMG-11, that does the job, Seal falls on his souffle, and we're done. Yeah, Weibo get that 5-1 lead like we were speaking about. Let's see if they can get the job done all together in the second half as we'll go and have a vibe check.
Fading into gray, say that it's okay. Painting pictures of this silhouette in vain. Just here to speculate. No fear, I test my fate. No. Thoughts of wandering away with me today. Fading into gray, say that it's okay. Painting pictures of this silhouette in vain. Just here to speculate. No fear, I test my fate. Innocence and honesty keep signaling my brilliance. Living in this harmony, it's hard to see the change. Ignorance and poverty, we're sinking in resilience. Adrenaline, my arteries are masking all the pain. I symbolize the vigilance, we need to rise above it. It makes it hard to breathe when we're living in the flames. So make rhythms and we influence the youngest. It's like we plant the seed and watch them grow into the names.
Lately I've been studying Ibrahim Traore. What it takes to make change, blood and tears that they assure me. Stripes and gun range, bodyguards at every doorway. Civil rights to sustain us, peace over Wahala. If we had to fight, we had to die. That's why we ain't seen another Thomas Sankara. Who are you when you can change all the fortunes of your people? I'm tired too, I used to blame Western forces of evil. I'm tired too, I'm choosing pain and let my hatred try to greet you. I'm asking, can I really flex? Forget the poverty we've been through. Puppets in our section, check the strings above, you know it's lethal. And am I still collecting? I'll try to protect my own peace and breathe through.
Thoughts of wandering away with me today. Fading into gray. Say that it's okay. Painting pictures of this silhouette in vain. Just here to speculate. No fear, I test my fate.
was numbing, stressing that I'm still the same as these.
So 5-1 lead for Weibo on Chalet. So far going to the script. Daystar do get at least one round, but it probably has all the hallmarks because of this being a Weibo map when Consulate then being required to separate these two. The bands Multi Glaz, the Allah, and the Wamai. Interesting, the Wamai ban. Very quick discussion about that because I actually feel like that's something that we'll maybe see a tiny bit more of now. He's quite powerful. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too shocked to see teams implementing it. I think it's going to come down to sort of longer term how potent it ends up being, but in the short term, I really don't think it's that too abstract of a ban.
And then in a couple of months, he'll get nerfed.
Maybe. Well, we're not. Hey, no nerfing. No nerfing allowed.
Oh,
buffs only.
Sorry. Well, what do you mean buffs only? Like Thunderbird's just left in the corner.
Well,
Yana's left in the corner.
Well, they may not have gone to buffs yet, but they.
Rook's left in the corner. Doc's left in the corner. Alibi's left in the corner.
They just made Jaeger a 3-speed, Jake. What are you on about?
Yeah, well, they let him run out the corner.
He escaped. He escaped the buff prison.
You can turn into a 3-speed, you can run out.
Yeah, but for Weibo, though, I like the ban because taking away some of that projectile denial is going to probably suit a team that's going to be really strong with their util layering, right? Like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for the day that we get a lineup of like Denari, Aruni, Jaeger, Wamai. Who would be the fifth in that ultra denial lineup?
I don't know, like a mute.
Well, Weibo get access to the Kappa Tower that was banned away in the second half of the first half.
Is this direct? What is going on? How is Reaps in?
Reaps is in. Azuki is aware of it and gets the easiest headshot. He just allows him to walk up and knows that he's there. Reaps thought he was taking space and taking ground inside a site. Azuki knew full well of his presence and the round's done. Now, Gotti is not going to be allowed into it. That was a very, very rapid round to start the second half. Daystar get their second round. Bedroom Office won successfully on the defense for Daystar. Strange round from Weibo.
Well, yeah, they tried to just go direct. When Reaps entered the double window on the sledge, it was a 3-1-1 split from the defense. Seal was over a bar, Pika was down in basement, and so they clearly, off the back of some info or a good read, had an idea that it could work. All they needed was to clear half full, and unfortunately Reaps losing that fight then meant that the entire plan kind of went astray. Here is said fight, so good work from Azuki. And the rest of the fight's ultimately going their way. So a strange round, 2-5 the scoreline, Weibo still in control.
Yeah, I think that Weibo should still win this map, but I do have an expectation for Daystar to play a little bit more like that, not lose this in that 7-2 fashion now that you kind of penned earlier. Maybe we do get to see if Daystar can go on a little bit of a run, force it back to 7-4, 7-5, and then into the coin flip. Imagine they lose the 7-5 coin flip, now they get to go defense consulate. So there is actually a bit on the line.
Well, they need to find 3 more rounds though, so we'll see.
Well, not impossible, based off what we just saw. Also, if Labs was the map, Guz, where the opening kill was just straight up not being converted, the map of Chalet is sitting at a 100% conversion rate now. Through 7 rounds. It's been the ultimate determination. If you get that first kill, you're getting the round. Up until this point, at least. What easier way to get that first kill than a Turd Hoven double entry Deimos Solid Snake combination.
Yeah, that's the problem for Daystar in terms of bans. You don't want to speak easy on the Monty, but then you leave yourself exposed with the Turd Hoven combo, which we've seen so frequently over the course of the stage. That's kind of a case of pick your poison. Maybe they could have risked it, left it up, played trap heavy in response to Weibo, but I guess they did take the Allah out, so it would have been a very difficult one to justify. Either way, though, it's map control for Weibo Piano side, spearheaded by that Blackbeard. But a U2 lineup ahead of them, Shield Library with Jaeger's support, and the Mez Cross with Keebers in support. And it is Azuki to find the first kill.
Yeah, round done. So, Daystar have made it 3-5.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, based
Have you got
off-
a crystal ball?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how the round's going to play out. That's going to be fun to watch, but Daystar are going to win it.
How confident? What's the percentage?
100%.
100.
100.
Still 100?
Still 100.
There's some hesitation there, Jake.
I don't know what you're on about. Azuki still got Mez control. They still have Nitrocell inside library. They still have top library control too. They still have double gas bait from Souffle. Lovely swing as well from Azuki. And it's a 2v1 in favor of Daystar. They're chilling. Turd ain't winning this. He doesn't even have,
loves these. What are you on about?
He doesn't even have kit.
Nah, he eats this for breakfast. Grenade, the snake. Toad's in his
He's got 40 seconds. They've double stacked library and they're playing off kit. He can't win this. As soon as he walks up, he should be dead. Longer angle as well from Souffle, although SMG 11 not ideal. It does have gas babes too. They can fall back. Oh my god, they can fall back. Oh my god. They can fall back. They could have fell back. Because in theory, if you think about it, they fall back. Let's say they fall back, right? In this
You don't have to justify it, Jake.
Shut up. If they fall back, there's 16 seconds left. If they both fall back, by the time he gets the kit and then gets to the site, he can't even plant. They could have... The man in library could have gone down the hatch, and the man in library hallway could have gone down the stairs. They both could have just left.
Or Toad could have just clutched it, as I called.
They both could have just left.
That's why Toad's the GOAT, mate. Never doubt Toad.
Oh, Daystar,
You really are just the king of curses.
Are just doing it to themselves. So right here. So this is lovely from... I don't know. I've lost track of things. Right, like 25 seconds on the clock. Now, Souffle can't, once that first death happens, Souffle can't probably get the cross, clearly, as we could see from Toad's position. But earlier than that, the way that they were playing it was...
be exposing. Like, I don't understand what's going on there.
But
anyway.
They played it poorly.
Yes.
I think they got too over-focused on, like, we've got kit. And it was like, we don't need to have kit. There's like 25 seconds left in the round. Fall back, play site, play bar stock, it's bar games. Like...
I will say your powers are pretty impressive. You've gone from having the ability to curse one singular player to now developing it into two at a time.
I didn't do anything.
100%. 100%. I feel like that round's probably tilted you more than it's tilted Daystar.
Yeah, well, I mean, Daystar aren't tilted at all because they're going to Consulate anyway, and Consulate's going to be a very fun map.
It will be. It does mean, though, that Weibo, as it stands, do have that round differential, likely to start defense on Consulate, or maybe attack. Maybe that'll be their favorite side. Either way, it's going to be the half that they want, the side that they want.
They will definitely start Consulate
I think so
on
too.
defense.
I think so, too.
Ooh. Beautiful Nitrocell from Seal. He's just not even hesitated, but the utility thrown in his direction.
100%
for this round?
Do we call it? I'm not saying anything after the last one.
I would say 90% chance Daystar win this round.
It's a good position. Unless Hoven up here, Library can unlock things.
Oh, don't walk into him. He's pre-firing, clearing.
Had to get both, though. Had to get the second. Unfortunately, unable to do so.
There's still 90 seconds. Plenty of time. Like, I mean, there's so much time left in this round now. They've got that library position. They can push through.
I will say, though, Pika being isolated and death marks here doesn't bode particularly well for Daystar. He could be in trouble.
Well, I mean, Azuki's isolated in office. He's the only one top floor.
Also true.
So they are playing quite separated. They might not... Well, hang on. Never mind. Pika's getting completely cleared out. Oh, my God. This is a case of Daystar trying to do a little bit too much at times. And credit to Weibo, their drone game and their clear-out game is pretty good right now. They're punishing Daystar.
Yeah, it's been quite brutal.
This was a 5v3. And look at this, just so direct. Although, Reaps actually, as soon as he walks through the doorway, head ripped off by Yao. He'll double his kills now for the game. Somehow that shot does not hit Yao's head, even though that was the only thing really visible. Now with a good swing onto Hoven, leaves it into a 1 versus 1. Do we need more rounds here on Chalet? Gotti on his new team. Yao on his new team. 1 versus 1 with 20 seconds remaining. Gotti doesn't have the diffuser. Yao will just sit. Gotti, you're going to have to make a move, son. You can't stand here forever. And that's it. Oh my, what? How does he win that one? Oh, Gotti. I thought Yao had him dead to rights. Apparently not. And it will be that round differential 7-2 for Weibo. Consulate is indeed required. All 3 maps in this upper bracket final. Oh my word. A statement again from Weibo. They're still the kings.
Mistake. Get baited. Get baited.
Gotcha.
You losers.
Gotcha, dude. We got him.
That's what happens, you know. You got to expect the unexpected here on the APL.
It's the funny thing is, like, I swear I saw a familiar face sitting behind us on this little chest of drawers before.
Yep.
And then I saw him down in the production room messing with the buttons. And then I saw APL man been playing with all them cheeky buttons again.
Goddamn APL man. He's just trying to ruin everything on this set. But I tell you what, Weibo just ruined Daystar's storyline in this matchup, and that just completely flipped the script, I should say, Nick. A lot more of what we expected from Weibo is what we saw on Chalet.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at how quickly Weibo could turn it around, because normally we say that Nighthaven Labs and Chalet, they play pretty similar. It's about taking the fights in the right areas together with a small bit of util, and Weibo struggling in Nighthaven Labs only to destroy their opponent here in Chalet. Honestly, in a way it was a surprise to me because it changes so quickly. But on another note, like we say, this is classic Weibo. This is how they play this map. It's when they thrive, they're getting things done. Gachi wasn't dying early. Gachi actually got the final round clutch in the 1v1. So everything that was going wrong on Nighthaven was actually going according to plan on Chalet.
It's tough to see for Daystar. You want them to have that underdog storyline, but also I think in the exact same breath, Dev, I want to see Weibo do Weibo things.
Keanu
Oh man, he's already well on track to get on that revenge tour. I don't know whether Daystar killed his dog or what, but he's certainly hungry for it. And yeah, look, we always hype up the big boy Reaps. Always keen to see him get into the server, but Weibo don't always need him. Like, you know, we criticized Gotti a little bit in map 1. We said he's meant to be the rock on this team. He's meant to be the unkillable. Couple of surprising opening deaths from him, but the team's looking a lot more locked in on Chalet. Very different map though, going to Consulate as a decider. Of course, not only is Consulate a huge map, very defender-sided compared to Chalet, a lot more open, a lot more attacker-sided, but also we haven't seen either of these teams play it in about 3 months. It's been a very, very long time. The last time that Weibo played it was to Los. That was 2 months ago, and then a whole month prior to that was the last time they won it against Team Orchid, which was around the same time that Daystar also played Team Orchid and beat them on it. So it's been a hell of a long time. Both of these teams practicing this map behind the scenes. I always wonder though, I get curious, do you reckon these guys are scrimming each other? Like, if you're Weibo and Daystar, the only possible teams to get in each other's way, like, especially if you're Daystar, right? Like, you know the only way you're going to these events is if you conquer Weibo. Surely you don't want to scrim too much against them.
Yeah, but it's the catch-22, isn't it, Pengu? Because what do? You don't scrim the best team in the region?
Well,
it's
did you
tough.
used to scrim like Sisu back in the day when it was Sisu Penta were the best teams, or did you try and avoid them?
So the way that it worked for us is that when you're doing the off season or maybe early in the group stage, you scrim each other, and then you stop scrimming each other, you know, before you have your series. So in this case, Weibo Daystar was the final play day, right? So you can scrim each other in the first week of groups probably, and in the off season before it starts. Then you go, okay, hands off. Now we practice without them. We surprise them in that series, and then after you beat them, then you can, or after you play them, whether you beat them or not, it's up to you. After you play them, you then have the conversation. Should we scrim them now that our match is over, or should we stay hidden? How do we reckon it's gonna go in the best of threes? But outside of that, I think the other aspect of this conversation is APAC North and O's are super competitive in stage 1. That's very unusual, right? So Weibo can look upon the other sub-regions, because you do scrim across all the 3 sub-regions in APL typically, and they have more competition elsewhere. Whereas if there are much weaker teams in other sub-regions, you're stuck playing Daystar a lot more commonly.
Yeah, I think that right now, these two teams should well and truly be comfortable with each other, right? Yeah, and
they know each other very well.
They should be.
They should be, but I still think that there is an element that both of these teams can bring, you know, like with what we've seen from Weibo over the last, let's just call it 12 months, Dev, they have competed so many times on so many different stages. There are so many VODs out there of how they do end up playing. But the problem for me, when I look at Weibo, they scare the living shit out of me because they're not a team that you can ever predict. They might be one of very few teams in APAC that I can confidently say with my chest, they adapt on the fly when they need to, and not many teams can offer that properly in APAC.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we know that these teams can compete with each other, but realistically, do Daystar have any chance of actually toppling Weibo? Well, if they do so today, it'd be a first, because they've never done it before.
Yeah.
Every single time they played in the best of ones, Weibo's won. Every single time they played in a BO3, Weibo has won. This is Daystar's chance to rewrite history. But Weibo, they're really coming for it. The Daystar has shone bright, but we always know that there's only one way to burn.
Commentators, please get me off this desk.
I mean, it's not quite daytime though, is it? So Weibo should be pretty strong, right?
Yeah, sure.
There's no day, there's no star. Well, maybe there are stars, but they're not.
You just can't see them.
You just can't see them. As we were kind of alluding to earlier, within this series, the round differential will play the factor of who starts defense consulates. Well, surprise, surprise, Weibo start on defense.
Yeah, that's what we anticipated. The bands developed Denari and Wamai. So Wamai again out of play. And then on the side of the attack, Glaz will be another a mainstay across this series. The Ying also unavailable. Maybe to try and compensate against some of the lack of catch that is on offer here for the defense. Top floor, first sight as expected.
10 seconds to go.
I know that James mentioned on the desk the numbers, guys, but 6-0 on consulate for Weibo is quite damning. I mean, Daystar are 4-2, so it's not as if they're, you know, totally unfamiliar when it does come to the map, but that's a large discrepancy. Although it is interesting, as he was saying, the fact that Daystar have never beaten Weibo in a best of one. They haven't obviously won the map in a best of three. Maybe they've gotten maps before, such as this, but not beaten them across the three of them. It's strange to hear because they've been so competitive at times. The fact that they've not actually been able to, finally get over that hurdle. But if you're going to break that spell, maybe, or break that curse, I should say, maybe the Grand Final's a better place to do it.
I think for me, it's going to be interesting to see just what the time management is like for Daystar. A nothing fight early.
Yeah, Seal just gets caught pushing up server stairs. Hoven with a good timing on the swing. And then, replaces that Razor Bloom. So that's locked down for at least the next 40 seconds. There you go. Barbed Wire still there. Razor Bloom still there. That's a big portion of the map cut off now for Daystar on the attack. Forces Suzuki to try and clear it from a different angle. Hoven has started absolutely perfectly. He feels as if he's done enough now.
Doesn't overstay his welcome.
Exactly. Fall back.
It's the right play. And it means that Weibo can consolidate and make it very, very challenging now for Daystar. Very little win conditions now remain. And the Tachanka is going to basically mean now that a default plant is very unlikely. It'll take some individual brilliance here from Daystar to find a multi to open up the round, try and clear Reaps, and then deny Turd the trade opportunity. Both of them, though, looking pretty settled at the moment.
Yeah. No real panic. I mean, they did lose 5 versus 3 back on Chalet. But I think this is going to be a completely different sort of round. It's a late push up through Spiral from Pika. But Long Desk still covered. Turd shouldn't be losing a fight such as this. Love this angle, especially with the smoke to the right of him. He's pretty well covered. Lands a big tag into Pika. They lose Yao, and they all fall. Flawless start for Weibo on the defensive consulate. That's the way that they would have wanted to start map 3. Couldn't really ask for anything more from them. It was Hoven that really kick-started it all, though, with that double kill hold towards server stairs. That hallway position impenetrable. We are expecting this, though, to be pretty defender-sided when it comes to consulate within the Asia region. It sits at 82% defensive win rate.
Yeah, one of the concerning trends that we have seen over the course of this stage is Weibo, and again, we're kind of pulling a little bit here to trying to actually make this a
what are we pulling?
Trying to make this meaningful statistic. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the opening round conversion for Weibo has been weak over the course of the stage, but when they have won that opening round, just like they did on Chalet, they run away with games. And again, it's not a strong correlation, doesn't really mean much, but it's just something to note that Weibo, when they get off to a strong start, typically are then going to go on and run away with things. You think about the nature of Consulate, some of the issues that Daystar have encountered on their attacks over the course of the series. I think that this map, unfortunately, may highlight some of those, and we saw it in the opening round, a couple of meaningless fights to begin. Not really a whole lot to show for it. Weibo with strong positional advantage, and we're ready for those isolated ones. So it could be a telling round, but a lot of Siege still to be played.
Fun fact, by the way, so there were my ban. We had one on Chalet, we had one here. Prior to tonight, not banned a single time the entire stage in Asia.
And wouldn't have been frequently picked either.
Yeah, more of an every now and then
Yeah.
sort of thing.
How many? Like 10, 15 rounds?
Oh, I'm not looking at the pick, sorry. I'm only looking at the bans on the
That's okay.
video. Apologies. I know what page you're thinking of.
I can take it upon myself, Jake.
No, I mean,
it's all good.
That's fine.
I'm strong and independent.
I don't know why I put my iPad away. I actually need that.
Game's not done yet.
Yeah. Yeah, first minute, not a whole lot from this one. Basement site. Weibo are contesting first floor and also second. So more than happy to spread around the map. Azuki could be on here, and someone died in front of him.
30 rounds for my up until today.
Yeah, that's going to increase a lot.
I think it will.
Well, unless he's banned away, then no.
The presence will increase, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Peak is dead here for Weibo more than the Kaid for Daystar. Especially on basement site. You think about trying to lurk down below. Court is
That was from a long way away, too.
Seal gets the headshot.
Fair play to Seal. Turd tries to go for the cheeky rotation. Visa gets caught. And now puts Weibo in a tricky position for the remainder of the round. They elect to peel back to site.
Wonder if Seal was watching the Chef Buck masterclass earlier. I mean, to be fair, Hoffen has at least cut off the push down into dungeon. 40 seconds also does mean for Daystar. What's the plan of attack? Is it just going to be a yellow stairs focus?
Does time become an issue again
Well,
for
I think
Daystar?
it already is now.
But they have so much utility. They have so much utility that if they don't deploy it again, it's going to be super frustrating.
Well, the good news is said utility, the smokes, that are going to help them get the plan. If they can actually get there, they're completely flamed out. Reeves actually charging. That's to buy more time. Yeah, delay Yao from being able to push into the site. 6 seconds. God, he's just going to run through the flames. He does get the kill. Azuki picks up the kit, but he runs out of time. But Daystar get the final kill anyway. What a calamity.
Wow.
Daystar still get the round win.
Yeah, they kept one above, and ultimately that was enough to win the round. And you can
Harambe
see
can't believe what he's watching.
the stress for Harambe. Maybe just leave your glasses off for the rest of the map, mate.
Maybe he's just tired. We just got him mid-yawn. He's not really that upset with what he watched.
Oh, man. Look, the lack of util
I mean,
layering
Gohan's
was-
probably thinking the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah, the lack of util layering there was astounding. They had so much left that they could have deployed and probably made their lives a little bit easier, but nonetheless, it is a round win.
An attacking round win too, early on.
And
I mean,
those will come at a premium.
it doesn't matter how you get it, as long as you get it. Look back at the replay. Oh, that is so
That was an insane
unlucky.
catch.
I'm not gonna. That's very unlucky if you turn.
Yeah.
That's not to sit back and say that's a lucky shot from Seal. It is, but very unlucky if you turn.
Poor Harambe.
He won. I don't know what he's upset about. There's an old saying that I like to say: you can't criticize a win. Win's a win. Simple as that.
Is that what you tell yourself when you win a couple of rounds in a 1v1? And
No, it's what I tell myself when I make a lot of fundamental errors and mistakes in any particular video game, but as long as I get the result I'm looking for, it does not matter, does it? It's like in the World Cup, right? If you trip and fall and the ball somehow still goes into the back of the net, are you going to sit there and be upset? No. You're knee sliding in the corner.
Quick entry for Pika Visa side here in the third round on the Solid Snake. Radar will confirm that the coast is clear. Heavy presence on the second floor here from Weibo with the 4-1 split. It's just Gotti down below in Expo. Does leave a direct approach here, maybe a little exposed. Oh, that was a big fight. If that goes the other way, that could have unlocked the site massively.
That's what I'm thinking there as well. I mean, Pika probably has every right to take that fight 1v1. You get first floor, you can then start to shuffle around the defenders on that top floor who have to very much keep in mind that no one is actively defending the site. But now goes the other way. Now you lose the Solid Snake, you lose that radar, you lose the information, one less player in helping potentially clear out those top floor defenders. Gotti's now a little bit more set, comfortable, especially if Daystar turn their attention to that second floor. That one fight has pretty big repercussions.
It's likely to hurt the time management as well for Daystar in finding information. The Grim will assist, but Hoven in a position where he has support on the cross. Daystar not really presenting a good opportunity to clear. We'll see a rotation back to the horizontal for Daystar with Teller's presence from Azuki.
Yeah, I don't know if horizontal's the right play, but if 4v5 down in the round...
Oh, if they do go on to clear Gotti, I don't really see how they're still going to get the play down though. There's so much control above.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if horizontal's the right play on the first floor. But that's the way that they're setting up now. Oh my God, it
doesn't matter anyway.
God, he doesn't even need the 4 above him. He's just doing the job himself. A huge round from Gotti. Seal will go down to Speakeasy. Weibo will get this third round. It just will not be flawless. Turd starts 0 and 2 here on Consulate. And Holman showcasing actually perfectly why you want to clear the top floor.
Yeah, that was good work from Weibo, and Gotti in particular doing his job in a stand-up fashion in that round. He's been a little up and down over the course of this series, but a great start here on Cons. And with Weibo committing just the one sole player on the objective, it was crucial that he didn't allow the early sneak forward from Pika. Did that well. And then when Daystar went for the mid-round pivot back to the horizontal, he was also ready in a really good position. So credit to Gotti in that round and the rest of Weibo in not forfeiting above. They really didn't look unsettled at all in that particular round. Additional bans for the remainder of the half to be that snake, which appeared previously. Fenrir also no longer available.
Yeah, I mean, you say up and down, but if you had said to me at the start of the night, Gotti's going to have, by this point, more kills than Speakeasy and Turd, and he's only 2 kills off Reaps.
That's pretty good, yeah.
I'd say you're taking that every day of the week. Yao's 9 and 21 for reference as the, sort of alternative new player into the respective team, playing the support roles. Hoven 22-16 and Pika Souffle both 20 kills. The 3 that are 20 plus. Fenrir and Solid Snake, the bands heading into the next 3 rounds. Fenrir featuring twice, Solid Snake all 3 rounds via Pika. The Pika's going to shift over to the Grim for the first time. Seal was on the Grim in the previous round. We go CO and meeting for the second time in this half.
Yeah, pretty util heavy then for the 4th round from Weibo, and they established a lot of that on the second floor, enticing Daystar in to the clear across from this side of the map from admin. Nitro from Gotti, a little bit delayed. Don't know if he failed to hear the repel sound cue, but either way, that one goes astray and none remain in the round. So there'll be a reliance heavily on Speak Easy late round for that plant denial. And the active Razor Bloom available for Hoven.
Yeah, but I think that the imagination is you can use that Nitro early because Yao on the Blackbeard's pushing in through copy, so he's clearly not going to go towards a CO-centric hit. Which is where, if you're not getting that pressure, I mean, from admin across, and everything's more so repel-centric, top yellow, you know, sort of around looking for that CO hit, yeah, you'd save it because there's no one there. But once you're getting that admin pressure, then in towards managers and copy, etc., yeah, you just throw it out early, and you know what the hit's going to be from Daystar. Now it's going to be this hallway into long desk. Daystar need Azuki to stay alive here. Those ROUs are very impactful just to be able to get this hallway control. And while Vending's not being played, it also technically hasn't been established into control for Daystar because of this long desk hold from Hoven instead.
And there's no spiral pressure to dislodge Hoven. That X-Factor's outside reach.
Oh, I don't know about taking this position though. This is a throw. That's a throw right there from Hoven. At no point did he need to cross into Vending. Unless he felt there was pressure from Spiral, which there was not, as you mentioned. Yao does go down low on health. The DMR from Turd will connect. Still, Zuki, both also low health margins. It does not matter. Souffle, good headshot onto Turd, down to Gotti and Speakeasy, and Speakeasy will fall. Daystar,
they're all low,
are going to get another attacking round unless Gotti can do something incredible. And as you mentioned, they are indeed all low. Headshot onto Seal. Souffle and Zuki, both incredibly low health. Pika, though, close to full health.
He's got to move quick.
Probably the most winnable 1v4 you'll ever get. He gets the down onto Souffle, make it a 1 versus 2, and make it a 1 versus 1. Pika with the bailiff out. He's down below, he's on the first floor. Gotti seems as if he's quite aware of this as well. 19 seconds and needs to make the decision rapidly. Trying to find out where Pika is, now just gets onto the kit, spots him down below, gets off the kit, and now needs to stick it and hope that Pika will fumble this. But Pika will not fumble this, and Gotti's chance goes begging. Daystar will tie it up, 2-2.
Oh. They just hold on, and I called that they were all low, but there was one exception, and ultimately was Pika there at the end of that round.
Ooh, ice cold, sips the coffee mug.
Yeah.
I wonder what's in there.
Good reposition down below in the post, and perfectly played it so he wasn't susceptible to the vert, and then at the point in which he was, little time remained for Gotti to confirm. A nice attempt from the newest member of Weibo, but ultimately does just fall short. That's 2-2 scoreline, and I guess that is benchmark for Daystar.
I think that's probably the most exciting round that we've actually had the entire series. It's strange to say, but it really is. You look back at Nighthaven Labs, there was not a single clutch, not one. There was only a handful of rounds that even came down to 2 alive, and certainly there weren't many rounds where we saw something amazing. Chalet, the first half, probably told the story. It was a very one-sided domination from Weibo, so we didn't get much in that game. That 1v1 there, Gotti gets the 4 kills. Unfortunately, the 4th of which was after time. Not after time, but once time no longer mattered. And it's the 2 attacking rounds for Daystar. I think that's pretty much half the course already. Now they get 2 more free chances. This is looking pretty good for them, and we're going back to basement for Weibo, where they did not win this in the second round. (7-1) start though for Gotti.
Yeah.
So he's hit up and down, but now he sits as their second best fragger. In fact, slightly in front of Hoven now for EPS as their best player in this series. That's something we would not have expected. And Azuki's just been tagged down to half health. Nitrous Cell? No. Not quite.
Oh, we got the Exo, but it won't count for much. Still in pocket. Although the Daystar don't recommit to getting the breach, I suppose.
Well, I mean, that also
the
means
up Speakeasy has been able to impact that.
He got taken down to half health trying to get the first one. So Dave's going to go back again. And it's like, well, do I rush that or do we go and try and clear? Wow, I mean, Turd's
having a weird night.
He's having a very... Outside of Chalet, he's been dreadful. Or Hoven. There's nothing more scary than the Blitz rushing at you from behind. Flash kill. Reaps gets the shotgun though. Trade is quickly there. Souffle has been downed. Gotti again is saving the day.
Yeah, that's a big kill. Or down for now, but Souffle will be critically low for the remainder of the round, presuming he is rezzed.
I mean, even this is just taking time as well. Hesitation of Azuki, knowing that, yeah, someone could be playing below. C4able position. Turd, by the way, went 6 and 10 on Labs. He's 1 and 4 here. He's Chalet, 9 and 4. Second ratest player in the Asia League. 60 seconds, 3v3. This is quite pivotal. This is a big round. Daystar get to 3. They're in front, and that's 3 attacking rounds on the most defender-sided map in the region.
They have a serious shout if they get 3.5, so this is a really good opportunity.
It's a double push Spiral and a solo push Yellow. They are going to go for a 2-1 split, and it's the final Jugger payload call.
Pika needs to stand up here.
Well, he's going to sit down, courtesy of Speakeasy. There's that low health Souffle. And Speakeasy makes quick work of him as Weibo are able to convert on basement. They are able to ward off one. They get to a 3-2 lead. They need the next one.
Yeah, it fizzles out pretty quickly there as Weibo put a stop to it. The early to mid-round pressure from Daystar was actually pretty formidable. Unfortunately, though, a good down on the peel back from Gotti, disrupted plans, HP levels for Daystar, put them in a tricky position late. Pika had to be the one to try and unlock things from that bot spiral position, but he got caught Speakeasy too good on the anchor. Final round of the half to follow. There's still an opportunity here for Daystar.
I mean, they're in this series, I think, and that's what we always want out of this region between these two teams. Daystar continuing to close the gap against Weibo. And you think it wasn't really that long ago, guys. End of last year, stage 2. Think back, lower final. Daystar versus Elevate. The expectation was Elevate, and this was the old Brazilian roster of Elevate, were just going to sweep by Daystar with ease. You know, the storyline last year really was Weibo v Elevate. That was the big storyline. And Daystar were kind of the outside looking in. They were the third wheel. They wanted to join the party. Well, it took them until the end of stage 2 to become a part of the conversation. And yet here we stand, almost getting not quite a full year on, but near it. And they've continued to just take step after step. They're getting closer and closer to Weibo. They can get this third round here to close the half. As you said, this looks on.
It may be one of the more pressure-filled rounds that we've seen in the series so far for both of these two teams. A great opportunity for Daystar to give themselves a serious shot in the second half, and for Weibo an opportunity to offer a little bit of stability heading on to attack into Consulate, which will probably still be a challenge, even for a team of their stature.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a given.
Currently a map clear across, facilitated by the Monty. Reaps gets first sight and gets caught from the skyline. What a position from Pika.
They've dominated the opening kills in this half Daystar, so they're going to win it 4-2. They've found a way on the attacker Consulate to consistently get these early advantages, but just didn't convert in the previous round. Need to convert here.
Again, so much utility for Daystar, and it's the one thing I've looked at late round where they're struggling to deploy it and play off it. So an opportunity here to try and buck that trend, and right on cue, they lose the Capital.
And this time the jump out for Turd works.
Are you kidding me?
They do still have utility though, and by utility, I mean 6 smokes. it gets to a point where you ask the question, do you really need 6 smokes? But, I mean, to be fair on this side, that indicates you can actually go horizontally. If you flood every single one of those smokes into the site and run in and plant, they may not actually know where you're actually planting.
Exactly, no warden. No solace.
No solace, no warden. 30 seconds. That has to probably be the win con now, and they're starting to throw some of these out. It's Speakeasy that finds the kill onto Azuki. Seal trying to watch for close contact as Yao is just hesitating. The smoke will dissipate. There's a nitro cell. It doesn't fully kill him, though.
He ate that.
He ate that, indeed.
That landed at his toes.
Well, it blew the toes off, but the feet is still standing. Yao sits in the corner, can go for the plant. Souffle's got the cross. A long angle fight against Speakeasy. Tags him up quite heavily. Another smoke thrown out. There's still 2 more. Souffle can lay him more. 4 seconds. Yeah, this time you have to stick it. No more getting off. No more hesitation. He's forced off. The bailiff will do the job. It's a 3-3 half. Sorry, 2-4 half in favor of Weibo. It's all happening on Consulate.
Yeah, that one's a heartbreak. I won't even lie with you. Like, that should have been a 3-3 half, so I don't blame...
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Shu.
I'm just a chill guy.
Talk about the soles of your feet, baby.
I'm just a chill guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is the way the cookie crumbles. That, realistically, Pengu, probably should have gone 3-3.
Do you want me to take him off?
I mean, do you want to make a lot of money?
If you guys give me a pay rise, I'll take them off.
You guys.
Can we get some bits in the chat, guys?
You know what? Hype train in the chat.
Hey, back up. Hey, back up. That's too close. Hey.
Actually, Nick, we did have a question in Twitch chat before. I mean, we shouldn't be derailing this conversation too much, but people actually wanted to know, are you actually wearing pants?
Are you doing the whole weather presenter thing, like the newsroom where like we have no idea what's going on?
I'm wearing a shirt and then I'm wearing shorts, so I'm wearing pants.
Technically,
I'm wearing pants.
Technically, it's kind of like a party up top. I mean, well, it's more business up top, party down below. So you know that's okay. I feel
I'm just wearing it. Yeah, I'm keeping it simple.
Yeah, simple.
It's warm here.
It is. Guz, are you there, mate?
Hello. Am I coming through? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can someone explain to me on the couch how this nitro cell did not kill Yao? I mean, I'll let the clip play out. It goes by pretty quickly, but have a look at this. Look how close that nitro cell is.
Yeah.
And he eats that. Nick, as the Monty main on the couch, how the hell has he withstood that?
Can you slow it down? I think he literally crouches and face tanks it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I only saw the clip once. I'm pretty sure he goes into crouch, looks at it, and just tanks with the explosive resistance. I do feel like you should take about 10 or 20 more damage, but you will still obviously C4 crouch as a shield player if you face tank it.
Okay. I'm not sure, guys. Did you read the patch notes? No, Yao is invincible now.
It's slowing down.
New update.
Okay, we can slow it down.
Okay.
Oh, let's go.
So watch him. I think he crouches and just tanks it with a shield.
Replay up is cooking here.
Yep.
Okay.
We're kind of
Yeah, here comes the C4.
All right.
Still a little bit. We're still waiting.
Okay.
We're moving away from the... Now
It's
I can't see the
away.
90.
Keep playing.
Wait, hold on, where are we going?
We keep going.
Oh, it's a while away. Okay.
Okay. I think we might be going backwards
going
in
the wrong
time.
way.
And yeah, we are definitely going the wrong way right now. I think we're still a couple of...
Yeah, that's good.
Hey! We missed out.
We'll never know now, will we?
What I was going to say,
know.
the big moment for me in that half, of course, that last round was a very winnable execute. A little side note that I don't know if it's Yao's experience, but you'll see the best shield players these days tend to actually put the shield on their back a lot before they go for the plant.
Yeah.
Makes it faster to actually start that plant animation, and you can walk into the plant spot, look
Bank it
away,
off.
and then hit the plant button, and the shield is already on your back, already protecting you from bullets and explosive damage. So a little note there.
I have actually heard that the players understood that we couldn't get that replay in time, so they've given us a technical timeout really quickly so we could prepare it for everyone at home. I believe we've got it ready. Here we go.
Here comes the nitro.
Okay, so watch out.
Out comes the shield.
And then look straight down at it.
Oh,
yeah,
you're
look
talking
down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is Oppenheimer levels of unbelievable cinema there.
I feel like this is Tenet now.
Yeah.
Just talking about Chris Nolan movies.
Speaking of Christopher Nolan movies.
This game's been a bit of an odyssey so far.
Let's It's been a bit of an odyssey, hasn't it?
I hear the sirens calling. Yeah, look, it's been a crazy game so far. I think impressive that Weibo have actually found 4 at the end of it, considering as well how close they got to Gotti, 1v3ing, 1v4ing on that retake. If you remember the plan, the plan down from Daystar up inside meeting and Pika down below. Gotti got so damn close to making that work. He played it very well, but so did Pika, to his credit.
It was interesting, wasn't it, Nick? Because like so many times we see those moments of like a Hail Mary late round, and so many
Hail Mary
players.
is not Chris Nolan.
No, it's not, unfortunately. But you were mentioning then that I'm sure it is. I actually haven't watched it yet.
Mate,
don't spoil it.
On it.
Don't spoil it. But it's not like come on, it only came out like 2 months ago.
Did you watch Oppenheimer?
Yeah, I watched. Okay,
Project Hail Mary destroys Oppenheimer.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
True.
What?
And it's it's sci-fi versus documentary style movie recording.
Very,
right?
very
either
different.
way, both good movies. Okay,
Very
both
different
Oscar worthy.
movies.
So
Okay.
to reel us back in,
Their
right?
entire production team is
Reeling it
fighting
back
each
in
other
here.
right now, arguing this.
I had a point to make. Okay, let's just throw it out there. Okay, so Weibo was banned by both teams, right? My patch came out literally last night, or been banned out both an EML and an APL. That's crazy. And I had a second good point, and I've completely lost it. Thank you, James.
Was it about Pika, Gotti 1v1?
No.
Can I get
It
you
was
back?
about the kind of pants you're gonna wear
The
tomorrow.
shield.
No,
put the shield on the back.
it was more of like, honestly, Daystar, they have had some slow attacks, and on Night Haven Labs, they got over the line, despite being very slow and being like very low time left. Now on Consulate, they're not really getting as much over the line. On Chalet, not getting over the line. I don't know if that's the map differences and experience, or then maybe the pressure getting to them, but they haven't been as sharp as to win the first map.
Yeah, Nick, you and I were actually speaking during that game. There was a moment, maybe second or third round in, and I said to you, look, Daystar have always been a really strong team within APAC, but most of the time we see them go internationally and they struggle. You know, Six Invitational, for example, they did very well against Elevate, their APAC rivals, but then struggle when it came to international games. I feel like this is the first time we've really seen Daystar look like a team that can compete internationally. And I know that you were saying, Nick, you think that it won't take long before Daystar really can be that kind of team like Weibo.
Was that the throw? No way, that was the throw.
Nicholas is the GOAT.
I can't believe it. I was waiting for Rob to come in, pick it up, and do a throw. Oh no. That's honestly, you can do better than that, cuz way better.
I have.
You have.
That's why when Nick and I had the pleasure of doing a broadcast together, this stage I was the host.
Was that Nick? I thought it was James.
That I casted with.
No, the throw.
Ah. Okay, maybe it was. I wasn't listening.
I don't even know who was it. Wait, who just did that throw, Rob? Who did the throw? Was that James?
Oh, it was James.
It
Okay,
was James.
sorry.
Yeah, I thought so. No, I thought I expect more from Nick.
My apologies.
Yeah, James, that sounds about right. Alrighty. The bands Monty, Solid Snake, Smoke, and Wamai again is just. I think that both teams are just at the point where, like, you know what, let's not deal with this. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll worry about it when we play each other again in the grand final. We'll worry about it then.
Exactly. Again, very defender-sided map, so ultimately Daystar now going to the side that is better befitted for them. And starts well. Nitrocell connects immediately onto Reaps. They want to go fast here with the Sens play, but while they don't have the ROUs no longer, with him losing his life really early into the round.
Speakeasy dropped yellow in the meantime. No support on this side of the map. Is this a bit of a dummy?
It could be. They might end up pulling this back a little bit, but
they haven't really got much to pull back to.
Well, they can. The grave.
Next round.
Alright, boys, try again in round 8. This one didn't work. To be fair, once you lose Reaps immediately, this kind of play style and this setup immediately just goes out the window.
And it's hands off keyboard.
Speakeasy's just like,
what happened, guys?
Well,
I dropped yellow, I committed, and then everyone else died.
Yeah. I haven't seen Speakeasy to me doesn't strike me. I could be wrong, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would get overly frustrated. But he was just like hands up in the air, like shrug.
What has happened?
What the hell has just happened? How are we getting this beaten up?
I mean, he's having a laugh. I think it was more.
Well, now he's having a laugh.
He's cooled off.
I think in the moment that he realized, though, that the plan completely capitulated, he was certainly a little frustrated. And sometimes it's not that easy for Speakeasy.
Not that time. Flawless for Daystar.
Yeah.
Is there something more to this best of 3?
Well, I think there is. I mean, defense is going to be pretty strong for Daystar. Weibo are going to have to be pretty strong on their attack. That's not going to cut it.
Oh, it's Basement up next. It was a 1-1 split for Daystar, well, slash Weibo in the opening half. Daystar found success first time out, facilitated by the opening kill, which has been a strong metric for Daystar over the course of this 3rd and final map. Now up to 5 over the course of the 7 rounds that have played.
Last 4 rounds, guys. Holven, Turd, Reaps, opening death. So, I mean, it's not just the fact that having
the 3 best players.
Exactly. It's they're constantly losing one of their best. And it's never a good thing in general, but they're just losing their best players too. It just means Daystar are in a far more comfortable position more often than not so far here on Consulate. If that maintains on their defensive side, it's going to be trouble for Weibo, because it's one thing for Daystar to get those opening kills on their attack. It's a whole other thing if they're getting it on their defense. And Souffle has just had a monster performance this series. He's now up to 26. So he's got the most kills across every player in the server. 26 and 16. 4 and 0 on entries as well. Pika's 5-3 on entry with 22. So, like, Pika and Souffle, that dynamic duo, they're matching it with the best of the best. Yet again. Weibo really need something out of Turd in this half.
Yeah.
2-5 on the Dockerby. So you're playing that sort of entry role, oppressive operator. Drop down through the skylight into top yellow for Speakeasy. Pika's trying to play contact on the player pushing behind the shield, but he then gets caught by a different angle. Bathroom was where Holven was located, able to get that first kill. That is a rarity so far on Consulate for Weibo. They'll happily take it. Don't forget this is Basement though, so this is a top-down clear from Weibo, and clear they do. But are they aware of Azuki's position? Well, Seal gets caught by Reaps. Zolas gets death marked out. Azuki will hold, so will Souffle, but Yao on site knows this is vulnerable.
Yeah, it's a tricky position now for Daystar. I'm looking at Azuki. He's still second floor. Spiral, unknown. Weibo suspect it to be clear.
Yeah.
Oh, if anyone is to make a play, it's him.
Drone as well, although he gets the kill onto Holven anyway.
Does he get cut?
He will get cut, yes. Really quick reaction from Reaps to understand he's going to drop down Spiral. So that's one done. Souffle's next in line. He too hasn't really been cleared out towards Yellow Stairs. Nitrous out, hits the roof from Yao. A little too strong with his throw. But Yao does get rid of the blitz and then shot in the back. Reaps has twice now gotten that quick trade with the Vendetta, and Souffle's pushed down Yellow. All for naught, breaks the mirror window.
And droned.
Droned
And
down.
dead.
Well, not
Oh,
dead.
not quite.
And it's 30 seconds, 1v3. Does have a Nitro Cell.
Oh!
Well, he was about to blow himself up anyway. He pulled the trigger on that one. Big round win for Weibo. They get their first attacking round in the 8th. They go 5-3 up, 2 rounds away from booking their place into the grand final. It's the sort of round that, at least the way I kind of look at it for Daystar, they tried something. Didn't quite work, but they did try something. And for Weibo, top-down clear was effective enough, and Reaps had a very big round.
Yeah, he was the one to help bring it to a 2-player advantage. Was snappy in reacting to Hoven's call of the rotation Spiral. And here too as well, then pushes down Spiral to find that trade and basically confirm the round for Weibo. Limited time. If that Nitro had been a little more proactive, who knows? Could have been a different end result. Nonetheless, though, a strong response from Weibo, showing good endurance over the course of this best of 3. They retain a 2-round lead. And it's over to the territory of Expo Piano for Daystar.
Can you believe that's the first round across 3 maps that Reaps has got a multi-kill? And it was a quad kill. And you also believe across the 3 maps we haven't seen a single multi-kill round from Turd as well. Yeah, like these are guys that make a living off this, literally.
Yeah.
5 seconds to insertion.
Expo Piano coming up for the 9th round. Bans after this. Not too sure exactly what you take away. Maybe the Azami Mira.
Holy moly, Turd had 24 3Ks before today.
Yeah, as I said, makes a living out
Different
of it.
quality of opposition, obviously. But
Very.
still a strength that hasn't been realized today.
And it's not like Turd is, though, as you mentioned, different quality of opposition. It's not like he goes to these international events and is bottom fragging.
No.
Like, he's still obviously holding his own and doing quite well. He's just having an off day today. Except for the Chalet, by the way. Except for Chalet.
He's good in the beatdowns.
Yeah. And of course that clip where he got the 1v2 got posted on Twitter.
That one was pretty good.
It was very
There
good.
were some,
It was
there
very
were some
good.
that wrote him off entirely just before that clutch. I don't know who those individuals were, but...
well, he hasn't done everything before and after that clip. He hasn't done anything.
The copium.
Come on, we don't say that in the Big 26.
What do we say?
I don't know. Well, that's a very tight pixel angle from Seal.
Good pop of the canister. Yeah, needs to be so careful he doesn't get caught on the cross back here. This is a pretty high risk position. I like the support of the pulse below though.
Yeah, but no Nitrocell and only one in the pocket of Azuki. So they, I mean, started with 3. They were C4 maxing and now they only got the 1 left.
Of course, that term coined by Mint, not by Jake.
No, I did not come up with that one. That was Mint.
Good clear from Weibo. Now an advantage and top yellow control. Can Souffle hit the flank? Reaps flicked a Visa drone, but it was too late.
At least the big bad Reaps, though, has been put to bed. That's a little win for Daystar, considering they are down on an individual. Well, that was the sledge that opened up the floorboards and spotted someone from Daystar immediately, but they were able to hurry out of that position.
I don't think Weibo have a read on that flank.
Yeah, that top floor push now from Souffle is getting called, though, by Turd. Souffle will answer the call. Azuki taken very low. Does still have that C4 available into the last 30 seconds. Souffle making that push.
Oh, he's so on here.
He is very on. Headshot onto Hofford, but it might be a 1 and a done. Speakeasy goes down to Pika. Very, very winnable now for Daystar. God, he gets a very crucial kill. Drop down Piano. We'll go for the plant. Nitrocell thrown out from Azuki. Doesn't connect. Back through Lounge now, comes on the first floor. Through is Souffle on the move. Won't be able to deny this plant. The cover was there from the top floor of Turd. Gotti got the plant down, but then dies. Here we go again. 1 versus 2 for Turd, but this time he's in the post plant. He's also got the vert. He hits the shot onto Souffle, not riding him off this time, and that call onto Azuki.
Has to answer.
Literally has to answer this call. He's got no choice.
Last one for Turd, 25 seconds on the clock. Azuki needs to hit the 1-tap.
Does still also have the smokes. Time running low, expiring. This could be match point on the other side. Turd just has to hold his nerve. Azuki's only got the 1 HP. Azuki needs a quick headshot clear. It's the only way. Has to be pre-fire. Headshot won't get it. Turd lets him know all about it. It's been a quiet night for one of the region's best, but he converts the 1v2. Gotti as well, getting that plant down, and Weibo have 3 match and series points. Grand final points.
Oh, they've locked in when it counts, and it seems to be a constant for Weibo. Additional bans to now be introduced. A good round, though, from Weibo to secure that match and series points. 3, in fact. I'll be intrigued to see what does now get taken down. Daystar are having some problems dealing with the Blackbeard clears. but they elect to go the Deimos route instead. Weibo keep it safe and simple with the mirror.
Deimos only played once. I mean, it's not a problem per se if it's only been effective in one of the 3 rounds. But, I mean, there's not really much else that you can look to.
I would have taken the Blackbeard or the Blitz. I know one of them will still get left.
But that's the problem, is one of them will get left. Like, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't with that. Blackbeard played round 7 and 9. Blitz played round 8.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Deploying razor wire. Razor wire deployed.
3 rounds required straight for Daystar. And guess what? In this entire series, guys, they've never won 3 rounds straight tonight.
Oh, it doesn't bode particularly well for them then. They've shown good fight tonight. And if this does eventually go on to be a grand final rematch, probably enough for that to still be an entertaining prospect. But I don't know if it's moved the needle majorly. A little bit. I'd say it's moved it a little bit back towards Daystar, but not by a huge margin.
No. But enough, I think, for me that there's room. If they can move it majorly in said grand final, they could easily pull off an upset. But it would still be, in my mind, classified as an upset. But also, if Daystar and Weibo are to meet in the grand final, I would also still be excited for that matchup. I mean, they beat them on labs. Really, Consulate up until the last couple of rounds was also quite competitive. I'll take a lot from this. I mean, the game's not over yet. 3 rounds is not impossible, and you're on defense, Consulate. Just can't be looking at the bigger picture here. 1 round at a time. This one being CO meeting.
Loading new magazine.
Weibo trying to find a pick on Vert onto Yao. Bandit.
That's just not going to last long. You've got someone right there as soon as...
Oh, luckily he's got 6 total.
Yeah.
He can spam out the Argus launcher. And God is doing exactly that at the moment. Meanwhile, a bit of presence and pressure admin side. Oh, and Seal gets destroyed.
Wow.
There's the new Zofia on full display.
Yeah, and good pressure. I mean, that's just what Weibo are doing. Gadget pressure. The Argus launcher of the 0. Blackbeard pushing forward. Zofia as well. Bit of foot damage into Speakeasy via Souffle as he swings the doorway. Holvin's got his measure. 2-player advantage for Weibo. Razor Bloom thrown out from Pika, but it's not exactly a Nitrocell. It has no effect. Weibo storming home here on Consulate. Storming towards that grand final again. Hazuki and Yao. And down to just Yao. It's been a quiet night for Turd, but he makes a loud statement at the very end of it. He was told to stop talking back in the 2nd round, and boy, did he let them know in the post-game chat. To the grand final again for Weibo. It's been said so many times previously. What's one more?
Yeah, sensational performance there from Weibo. Let's send it back to the desk to break it down.
Thank you very much for that, Guzzler. And to Daystar, a valiant effort. And you know what? This would have been, I think I can firmly say that this is what I expected from Weibo coming out in this series. And the first map, as chaotic, as messy as it was, Weibo very quickly get back into their groove, Nick, and look honestly like the team that we need them to be in this, at this point in time in this region.
Yeah, I like how we see the differences in styles. So we see Chalet, where it's just fighting. Weibo playing their very aggro play style. Then Consulate, they're a bit more tricky. You know, the Recality, the C4, the Yuto game. There at the end, some Sophia, some Nomad Spies to get a couple of kills in map control. It feels like Weibo, I don't know if it's just Nighthaven Lab just not their map, or if it's just like them not giving 110% because they thought maybe they could get away with it. Yeah. But it was a very different story from number 1 to 2 and 3.
I think it's very telling of how good a team is when patch notes can come out. That patch has been alive for less than 24 hours, like what, 22, 21 hours. And already we see teams giving so much respect to Weibo about that one might change, that they're banning it against them. And we're seeing Weibo already bringing Zofia and showing us cheeky things like the triple Zofia tap instead of the old up nades. I know that during the game, you and I were talking about that. Nick, so cool. I've just looked back through the history books. You know, Weibo have actually never had a worse result than being champions in Asia. In the Asia League, they've always been champions every single time, ever since they became Weibo. So
what's one more?
Yeah, what is one more? At this point, a grand final is just step one. But I will give some credit where credit is due. You know, this is the first time Daystar's taken a map off them, especially in a... Yeah, I mean, in BO1s and BO3s, both. So it's also a big moment for Daystar. I think we really got to see when it came to the third map that Weibo were here to make a statement. But of course, that spot, you can never take it for granted.
Nick, you said what's one more championship, one more interview with Turd. Let's go ahead and have a chat with him and see how he thinks this one has played out. Because honestly, Turd, the first map had us nervous for a second there. I bet it didn't have you nervous though.
First map? What first map?
That's the attitude. That's
right.
what I
That
need
was
to
your
hear
warm-up
from you.
scrim before the 2-0, yeah?
Who's this guy? That's your voice.
Sorry, Turdstar. I've had a rough couple of days. Was out very late last night. No, I'm just a bit sick at the moment. But you guys aren't slowing down at all. Maybe I am, but you guys are looking phenomenal, looking in great form. New patches come out, and we're already seeing you with the cheeky little Zof taps in the last round. What happened there?
Yeah, like the new update came out, and I think I spent like 5 hours in ranks every round, first floor, like waiting to Zof someone below the floor. It's so funny. It's like the old floor nades from like 2023,
See
2022.
what Nick just said.
So I've been waiting to do that probably the whole day. I finally got the chance in the last round. It was awesome.
Did you do the triple, or was it just a double?
Triple.
Oh, damn.
Nick?
Just for good measure. Well, I do want to talk about the first map, even though we're not skip past as a player, as analysts, we gotta dig into why we lost, right? So you guys played a 4-7 loss to EP at Salt Lake City. You guys had an 8-7 win over Lowe's. Obviously, statistically speaking, you guys are not great on this map. Was it a bit of like, okay, we'll lose laps going into this BO3, but then we have Chalet Consulate, so it doesn't really matter? Or were you guys actually surprised at the outcome of that first map?
No, I'd say we like labs. Like we like every map, but labs is definitely up there. And obviously the results don't show that recently. Like we lost to Twisted Minds, we lost at EP, a close game against Lost. But no, I'd say we generally like playing labs. Just I don't know, our results suck, I guess.
Just blame Gotti. You know, he was dying early into Heart Breacher. He had 2 opening devs. He didn't get any clutches on that map. But then Gotti showed up afterwards, right? Because Gotti on map 2 and 3, he was actually the goatee. He was so much better.
Yeah, he saved us multiple times. So I will blame him for map 1, actually. That's a good point. I'll bring that up later.
So great game, Turdstar. Of course, it's kind of a given at this point. You guys seem to always be champions in Asia. Of course, that grand final upcoming. But I want to ask you about a different grand final upcoming and a different upper bracket final. I don't know, did you watch any of last night? I know you might technically be from OS, but you have a funny relationship with the region you've always competed with in Southeast Asia. Did you see the upset? Chiefs taking down EP? I want to get your take. What are your thoughts, man? Lay it on me.
That was awesome. Like I'm super stoked for player and relays. I think like the storyline of them getting kicked and then forming their own new team and then beating them. I thought it might have been just a fluke or something in the BO1s, but in the BO3 they look good, and they look much better than EP, which seems like that's always the case in OS. Like a few players get kicked off the best team, they become the second best team.
That's what I'm talking about, Turd.
The best team.
That's what I'm talking about.
This guy's loving what you're saying right now, man.
Turd, you are speaking to my soul. That's what I'm after. I'm glad someone else understands ball game the way I think I do. I really don't. Turd, look, obviously you guys are just in such an incredible position at the moment. Everything that you seem to touch turns to gold. I don't know if you heard Dev's point, but you've never not been champions in Asia ever since Weibo picked you up. So we are just expecting that will be the end result, and I'm sure there is a level of expectation behind your incredible humbleness, as you are known as Turd the Humble. But is there anything you'd like to say before we let you go and prepare for your grand final on Saturday?
Yeah, just thanks to the fans, thanks to our org, thanks to everyone on our staff. my family watching at home. It's quite late. My girlfriend, my cat. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to Gotti. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, it's just an absolute true champion. Xenox isn't happy with that one. You didn't shout out the casters. You just shouted out us in general. So, you know, he's pretty bummed about that one.
Casters overrated.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Xenox has wasted enough of Turd's time recently.
Yeah, and I think we are wasting way too much of Turd's time. So on that note, mate, go and celebrate with the team, and we'll see you on Saturday.
See you, mate.
See you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always good to hear from the GOATs of our region. And I think that I can firmly say now that after, you know, the last 6 months, Turd has really started to rise in the ranking of, you know, the top 10 players of our entire APL region.
He's really
Would you agree?
flipped, yeah, he's really flipped the Aura story on his head as well. Because, you know, there was a time where he got kind of like dropped there for a minute by Julio on the old Weibo team. With, you know, with Bleed Days. Re-earned his spot back. Now he's, you know, really got this mad aura, like the way he was talking about Chiefs and EP. I mean, I just think it's good fun. He's clearly been really whipped into shape with all the roster changes that have happened with his team, with the leadership from Gohan. I know he's talked about that as well in other interview content, which I don't think is fully out yet, but I'm very excited for it to all be out.
I am.
Actually, I think, you know, I think it has all been posted. Yeah,
No, it hasn't.
Oh.
Turd's interview?
No, yeah, sorry.
haven't
It's not
seen it.
out. I watched it because I had to proofread the subtitles for it.
I had to proofread the subtitles. I'm cool.
I was very excited.
Oh, you can read?
Anyway, that's me done for the
All
night.
right, on
See you
that note,
guys
that is a fantastic point to end this one. Dev didn't even know. Dev didn't even know where the end of the set was. But you know what, Pengu? You don't have to work anymore. We're going to go to a break, and on the other side, this is one you really, truly don't want to miss. Team Orchid take on Soul's Heart. We'll be back after this.